message came
Hello,
through.
hello, hello. Okay, holy shit, I'm
Oh
back.
Hello.
my God, that scared the piss out of me. I was like, did someone
She was
roll
like,
something?
"Hi, we're back." All right, how much of the description did I get through, Saito, before I died?
Uh, Not any that I remember. I just remember the more vivid description of Natalie's.
Sorry.
What was Natalie's more of a description?
I just said like in the cistern area, like that's probably gonna like echo a little bit. So like that sickening crunch is really gonna
Oh yeah, no, it's a wet, sickening crunch. You lose
yeah.
control in the moment as you finally go to do this gruesome deed. You lose heart, lose control of the corpse as it swings a little and like slides out from under your heel, and you hear someone over here say, "What was that? It was there." And there is movement around the cabin, if you will. Um, and yeah, so body in the water, um, and you have not obtained a hand, is where we leave off and return. Bula, you just witnessed that shit. Saito, you're still here. The damp rope is next to you, and Aboji kind of like waits in the corner.
Hmm.
I shrug and I look up at uh it's
Bula.
Baraka? No, up there.
Daraka
Oh,
Daraka, and I
or
look up at
Daraka, I
Daraka
guess.
and I'm like trying to throw the rug back up.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It is a wet, is drenched
Yep,
after
yep.
oh
having been used to
no.
fish out a corpse from a dirty cistern. Um, Water and filth cling tightly to it. Where before it would have been easy, you must now spend one stamina to throw it up.
Can I throw the dry side up?
I mean, like half of it's wet either way, and then it got lassoed to the corpse, and then it got moved around. Like there's maybe a dry 1/6, but like it weighs more either way.
Oh, fair way. Fair.
Indeed.
Gonna give it my best shot.
All right. So we're gonna call this shooting. Roll me 3d6. Okay, you hit. The rope gets back up with a wet thwap. I presume Daraka is there to catch it.
Yes.
It does not need much encouragement now if you had something heavy to place on it to remain secure, you don't think?
I give like a gesture of like, you know.
I'm looking at you like side-eyed and a little scared of you. Because all I saw was you
You're
try
looking
to
like,
fucking you curb stomp this dead
and she's
corpse's
looking back
wrist,
like,
and then you were like,
who is
because you
both of
want to
you?
fish it out. This is the questions that Dark has. Like,
Yep.
you
So,
think if I just lay it in the, I think if I just lay it in the sand, it'll like we can climb back up.
if you put something heavy on top of it in addition, because the wetness is going to like cling more, it's just heavier in general.
Do we have anything to put on it?
If it's in your or Bolade's inventory, then yes, you do. Otherwise,
Well, it's up to Bolade
Bolade
then.
has a redware flask containing oil.
Well, that sounds dangerous.
I think we'll just keep on hanging out up here.
Bolade says, "It sounds like there could be battle soon. Are you sure?"
Oh, well, I mean, if we win a battle and we're all trapped down there, what good is winning the battle do?
And then Bolade, thinking about this, says, "It is easier to feed 2 people than 5," and remains up there with you.
Holy shit.
So,
I
Bula.
give a I give a gesture of like of drinking, like as if to be like drinking, and then be like water over there.
Yeah, Daraka, you witnessed all this pantomime, but Bula, what are you doing? You've heard this, you've seen this. Things are in motion. What do you do?
Um, shit. I want to get back to them.
Okay.
Well,
And you want to like sneak over there, I presume, right?
actually, I think I'm gonna go towards the. Yeah. I'm gonna sneak. Where can I get to here
Yeah.
effectively? Yeah.
Bear in mind, even when the way this normally works
Hmm.
is that like you're hidden if you're logically hidden, but when you come within sense many squares of an enemy, they detect you.
Okay.
The exception is if you have a vitae called Shadow, which is as
Yeah, I
long as
don't.
which Iboji does.
Hmm.
But yeah, so you can get up to there by all means.
Okay.
Why the fuck is a Boji up here with me?
But
No,
no, Iboji's down below.
Boji's down
You're up
here.
there with
Oh,
Bolade.
okay.
Bolade is the
Now,
bulky Haas farmer. Iboji is
gotcha.
the slender thief. Yeah. So Bula, by the way, you see this is difficult terrain. These like
Yeah.
things here.
Did I take that
So
one?
this portion of the cistern has raised 1 meter zones. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And you see there's what appears to be a clubman stepping over. As you get a
Oh.
good look at both of them, you notice something. They both look very low on blood.
Oh.
Um, and they have wounds of their own. It looks like they've sustained similar wounds to what the corpse and the wounded man have sustained.
Gotcha.
So there's a slinger woman up top. There is a clubman down below, and
Hmm.
you hear a third voice saying, "Well, we're not getting through this door alone." So, and you hear a step in this direction. So, you think there might be up to 3 enemies over there, and you're presently looking at even odds because all of your heavy hitters are still upstairs.
Yeah.
You also
I'm
note
gonna.
stairs over here, although they are partially collapsed.
Hmm. Okay. So real quick, then I'm going to wave at Eboji and Saida.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going back to finger charades, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I hold up three fingers,
Oh.
right? I kind of hold that for a little bit, and then point the three fingers in the direction that I hear them, right? And uh, then I hold up one finger, and I mimic a sling. So, hand up in the air and swirling it around, and point over in that direction to kind of like relay that there is at least one ranged person.
Hmm. Iboji, seeing this, gets out her own sling.
Nice. Um, I don't really know how to convey wounded, so I guess you're not getting that piece of information.
There.
Yeah. So, as you do this, the slinger woman gets here, and the clubman sort of like gets here, and this is the formation the party intends to hold until something new happens. Correct? You guys, no one wants to do something, and I'm cutting them off.
um,
True for me.
I'm gonna go back one.
All right. And Saito, where do you want Saito to be? What do you want her to be doing?
Um, the rope is there. I mean, we could technically just slink off, right?
You could try and shimmy, although you hear people coming and you know Bula is to the north. And
I
Bula
have
doesn't
to
really
run.
have clear cover to sneak over here, unless
Oh
maybe she
yeah.
tried to like swim. But I mean, her odds of making it to and like the rope will mark you as obviously here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you think that the window is probably just closed on Bula getting out of here stealthily, and it's gonna close on you and Aboji if you stay.
Hmm.
It's easier to feed 4 than 5.
Oh, no. Um, well, I look at Bula with like a look that says, what what do you want to do? Like, how you getting over here?
Uh,
Are we running? Are we
um,
fighting?
at that point, I take my dagger out.
Oh, we fighting.
All right.
Like, is
Aboji
that
loads her sling with a weighty pebble.
I can see the weapons start being drawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you can't. You can only see
Okay.
Saita physically right now. If Saita doesn't draw a weapon, you don't see a weapon get drawn.
Okay.
I will definitely draw a weapon.
All right.
If I see Bula
What do
draw,
you pull out?
I pull out my spear.
Whooshing. Boulade, seeing this happen, kind of says, "It looks like it's time for the fight. What should we do?"
Do I think I can make it over to Bula without being caught?
You don't know where they are, but like this is a pretty big 3 meter wide opening. The
Right?
only
That's my
real place to
worry.
hide would be these rocks, and that would kind of risk splooshing and splashing a little. So
Mhm.
if you were on the north side already, plenty of opportunities to sneak. But as is, it's dark. I will say it's dark. If you like belly crawl along the eastern side, maybe they won't see you. But people are
That'll
coming
take
over
way
here
too
looking in
long.
this
Yeah,
direction.
that would take too long. I'm just gonna move over to where I might be able to
Mm, yeah.
chain attack
All
here in
right.
this little corner.
Um, Bolade kind of looks at you and leans in and says, like, the time of decision is now. We shouldn't let our allies face a fight uneven, or we will incur unnecessary losses and wounds we can't afford to heal. There is water down there, and there is
What
not
happened
water
to
up
your
here in the
two is
desert.
easier to feed than five?
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you,
I'm sure I am
I'm
thirsty.
telling you, it's time to make the decision, woman. And you are possessed of a fiery feminine nature that runs wild in this desert place. My masculine roundness is insufficient to make the hard choice in this moment. I
Well,
defer
I
to
mean,
you.
if you're gonna put it that way,
I defer to you. But we should go now if we're going to go.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounded a little cancelable at first, and then I'm gonna like make my way down there after I say that.
All right, and do you,
If I won't get hurt, I'll do like a cool like I am Iron Man like drop down.
all
But
right. So
if it will cost
are you
me,
trying to climb down the rope, or are you just like
well, I mean, it's what I'm asking.
you can just hop, but it will cost you 2 stamina, but you're probably about
Okay,
to get it right back when you spike.
all right.
All right, so you gonna hop?
I'll hop down. I'm going to try to land as well safely,
All
obviously,
right, and has
but
anything
also
been done to secure? All right,
as quietly as possible.
all right. So you plop down on the stone for 2 stamina, um, and Bolade follows you. The rope is very loosely secured and will probably um,
I
fall
mean, we're all gonna die down here,
if
but at least
anybody
we'll be
moves.
together and
Yeah.
full of water.
As this happens, this clubman is kind of like poking through the rocks, and you see Bula, a bulky hoss of a spear woman.
Oh God.
She looks far less wounded than the others. In fact, it looks like she probably has as much blood right now in her as Saita and Aboji do, like at full.
Oh my. Okay.
Um, so
Together?
no, not together. That would be crazy. But
I was gonna be like, I think we should just go back up and call it a
yeah,
day. I'm so sorry,
Right?
Bula.
Why'd you fuckers drag me down here?
yeah.
I didn't know that there was like a she beast down here, okay, with a spear, okay. She was
So
out of sight at the time.
Okay, so is that's raised it up to a 4 then, yeah?
no, there's 3 of them. This is the third
Oh,
person
3.
you've only
Okay,
heard.
okay.
Um, she comes here. This guy comes here. And how this works out is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Saita, So you're crouched and you're hiding the best you can, right? However, you don't have
Comma.
shadow,
Nope.
and there's nothing in particular to hide you anymore. So it becomes clear to you. They don't say anything, but the man clenches his club and his eyes clearly dart towards where you crouch. The jig is up. You hear a sucking in of sound to his, like, sucking in of air, right? As if though he's probably about to say something. What do you do in this moment?
Can I throw my spear and like spear him in the face?
Yes, although important note, using a thrown weapon rather than a, like... Okay, so two things. One, you're going to sense roll off against him and try and beat your sense by more than he beats your sense to start a fight with, like, an ambush attack, right?
Okay.
Thing two, usually when you are shooting, you get to roll 3d6. Every hit does your weapon quality damage, and which for you is 1, and you think that's going to be enough to down this guy, even if you graze him. And each one past the first one is a wound level. So, like, if you got 2 or 3, like, 3 hits, you'd give him wound 1 or wound 2. So, for example, if you roll 3 hits, you'd hit him and you hit him in the head, he's just fucking dead, right? An important note: throwing a weapon reduces the dice you get to roll to 2, so you'd only be rolling 2d6.
But I could do a heat and make it 3, right?
Which heat move are you looking at? Oh, sorry. So that
Is that just for skills?
Oh
Or that
yeah,
just
so
be
no,
as
that's
skills?
usually for skills. Although sometimes
Okay,
you have
okay,
to do
okay.
something special. So I will say there's an ability called Power Draw, which is -1 stamina while shooting, +1 effective weapon quality. Also, everyone spikes in this moment. Everyone spikes. The adrenaline rush hits. 1 spike for the day. Hopefully, you guys will not have to go over that. But everyone is up to full stamina. Whatever else came before, and you can spend 1 stamina, and it'll make your weapon +1 quality. So basically, it would do 1 extra damage when it hits. Other than that, you don't. I don't think you have any special moves related to shooting. And there
No,
is a
no, no,
vitae
no.
for throwing stuff good and not taking this penalty, but you don't have it. Just to be very clear with your odds here, because I know this is a strange system because I'm a strange guy. So, you're trying to hit at or under a number. The default number is 5. Cover, having moved in their last turn, being occluded from view, being prone, and raising a shield all fuck with that number. He is moving, like, really slowly, and so, like, he's not getting a movement bonus against you hitting him, but he is, like, slightly occluded from view when you have to decide you're going to take the toss, right? So, it's 5 minus 2, 3. So you need to hit 3 at or under on 2d6. If at least one of those comes up as a 3 or less, you are downing this guy. Either way, your spear is no longer in your hands.
That's my biggest worry, but I'm not sure what's behind. So, I don't have any other, like, there's no rocks or anything around, right? That I could just pick up and
Not that you're going to
throw?
be able to get in your hand and toss and do all this shit with in time. It's got to be kind of split second. Like, he's just noticed you. You have the thing in your hand. You have a chance to fuck on him. So you want to go for it?
No, I'm gonna hold back. Oh God,
All
I
right,
don't want to.
so
I'm just afraid if I lose my spear and it
no, that's
goes that
valid. I
other,
mean, you could get
that other,
totally fucked by
yeah,
having no
that
weapon in
other,
your hand. This is
yeah, the
definitely a
other
game.
spear person would not be great to have my spear.
Yeah. Being without a weapon in this game in melee is a really surefire way to die. I do not blame you. We are adding everyone to the turn tracker, even the corpse, who's going to have to get removed. Blub blub, he says. Okay, so all of them are sense 3. Bolade, our big beautiful farm boy, is sense 2. Saida and Daraka are
Could I do
3.
like a kind of feign innocent and be like, "Oh my god," and like try to not let them see Boji? Eboji?
They haven't seen Eboji yet.
Okay, cool.
Eboji has shadow.
But if they move like 2 steps, they will, right? But by that time, Eboji will be able to
as
stab.
long as Eboji has a reason to be hidden and doesn't move from her space, she won't get detected.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
She's a thief. She's built for stealth, more or less.
Perfect.
However, that's not what happens. Here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Eboji moves back here, knocking the rope and causing it to fall, and takes a clean, no cover against her shot with her sling at the clubman as he screams out, "More Ushinari!" Eboji then takes her shot, and a rock slams into his... Oh my god, did she actually just fucking do it? Please tell me this is what I think.
Slams into his oh my god.
His skull and fucks him over.
It slams into his guts, and his like lower body horribly distends blood all over the ground as he crumples.
Oh god.
And yeah, this guy.
I said there will be an oil slick. I always wanted it.
Yeah, he's bleeding. He's bleeding, and he's in shock. And he's probably going to die, given the horrible gut wound. That is there not a blood drop on Roll20? That's crazy.
I thought there was.
I thought there was too.
Yeah, there is.
There's a missing slot. Did I lose mine? Am I silly?
Can you do that? Can you lose it?
There's a heart.
Maybe if you're a bad boy. I don't know. Well, just fucking bleeding is the important thing here. And yeah, so there's now fresh blood on the field, and that was Eboji's go. Bula, it is your turn.
Oh dang. Okay. I'm gonna waddle down a little bit. Ooh. Oh, what is my movement again per turn? Or
By default, you get like 6 meters, like 6 squares.
6 squares. Okay, cool. 1, 2. Well, no, there's a fucking ranged person. I don't want to expose myself. That'll kill me. I'm not that dumb, I swear.
You have some ranged ability of your own, don't you? But you know,
kind
no
of,
pressure.
sort of, but it's kind of close. It's my ripping of blood out of people.
Oh my.
Hey, oil slick.
So how does that work? When it says I can take blood out of somebody, does that mean I can just hold it, or does it have to immediately go into somebody else?
It has to slam into another target.
Immediately? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And is that limited only to people that are experiencing blood loss, or can I just throw that into somebody?
No, you can just rip it
Heal.
and put it in and, heal. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna just stay here just because I don't wanna get in front of people, basically.
All right.
I'm not.
All right. So, you have moved.
Mm-hmm.
And you are in cover.
Mm-hmm.
Stroke occluded from view. So, Bula, that is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Daraka. Hi.
Hello.
Oh, by the way, when the first person goes down, everyone gains 1 heat.
Oh,
Oh.
So 1 in the orange bar.
I know what you're talking about. I'm feeling fine. It's cool down here. No, I'm joking.
Dude, really speaking, you can hop in the water to cool off.
Not that water. Maybe
That sounds like a
Just
horrible
don't
idea.
drink it. Just don't drink it. It's just a little corpsey. Who cares? Just don't drink it.
Maybe a little maggoty too.
That is exactly how you get a brain-eating amoeba. Not that we know about that.
Well, that's why you don't want it to go in your mouth or
So,
your
It'll
nostril.
mess up your humors.
so Duraka, what's the play here? I can tell
I
you
want
about
to
your
move
options.
there.
Hmm?
I want to move there. Can I move my token? Oh, I can just move my token.
Yep. All right. So you come up to here. The
Mm-hmm.
clubman is very
And
dead.
then
Well, not dead
that's
yet,
good.
strictly speaking.
Uh, surrender now, and you can live, and we'll put your friend down so he has an easy death with his gut wound.
A boisterous voice comes around the corner and says, "Submit now, and you will be allowed to live, and we'll turn you over to the courts of Tartaros." And those of you who have, does anybody have a society or a history of one?
I mean, actually, being taken to the courts would be
No.
pretty dope, right? We could win the game if we just let him take us to the courts. I mean, really.
All right. Then if nobody has the relevant skill, then nobody has the relevant skill. So that's what she said. Doesn't sound like surrender's in the cards for them just yet. Although obviously one of them is dead or about to die. So what do you want to do?
I guess hold action until somebody comes within stabbing range.
Um, you will simultaneously clash anyway. But they would still be considered the initiator if they do it on their turn.
Oh.
Okay.
But you're pretty much your holding position, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Daraka, that's your turn. Saita, it's your turn.
All right. I look at Iboji and I kind of gesture to be like, can you see a little farther down here? Cut a little more vision and see if we can't.
Mm-hmm. She seems to take your direction, but she'll have to do that on her turn.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure we're aware. We're all aware, and then I'm going to kind of glance over at the average clubman. And does he have anything worth notating? I know we're in a fight right now, but we're in a fight with a really bad situation. Do I need to?
He seems to have shoved into his tunic. He does seem to have some moldy bread, starch too. So you could eat that.
Maybe later.
You're hungry enough, you might.
Oh. Maybe later.
Yep, and there is, other than that, a wood club.
Sweet. Good note. And then I will hold my action. I want to run in front of Daraka, and I don't want to. I want to wait till Iboji can get some more clean line of sight. Ugh.
So what you're gonna do is more or less skip your turn. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah.
All right.
For my life, absolutely. For a little bit more knowledge, yeah.
All right. So this person hops down, losing 1 stamina, and they have a line on Bula, and they take the shot. You're woof 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 woof. Now this is 5 minus 4. They need a 1 to hit you.
Okay. When they hit me,
They graze you. It is a bludgeon. You don't have any sort of armor or anything on, right?
I just have regular clothes. That's it.
All right. So you do in fact get hit and grazed. They are using they use power draw to get a bump of 1 quality, but their stuff is shit enough that it wouldn't have done anything on its own. So you are harmed for 1 blood, as you take a hard bruise leaving impact from a sling.
Motherfucker. Okay.
The spear woman advances to the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes over the body, spear raised high, and it is a clash between Daraka and the spear woman. The spear woman is initiating.
Good for her.
So, Daraka, that means you have the choice of either attacking or defending. Here's what this means. If you want to, you can just try to reduce her efforts to fucking kill you, right? That is 1d4 plus quality of your weapon plus your proficiency with the type of weapon you're wielding, right?
Okay.
If you instead just want to try and make her dead faster, you also attack at the exact same time, rolling 1d6 plus quality plus proficiency.
Okay.
Do you additionally,
If I'm what?
she
Yes.
is spending reckless clash. She's taking +1 heat, and if either side deals damage, it will cause a wound.
If I'm wearing a hemp tunic, does that go to my defense, or is that just
That ain't
regular
doing
ass
shit
clothes?
for you.
Okay.
I think the only party member with armor is the hide garb on Bolade.
Okay. I think I'll just try to reduce damage and hope my ranged person across the way takes a shot.
Okay. Roll me 1d4. And also, let me just check and see you don't have a stamina move you could do. You don't have a shield. Power draw, commit, heat moves. Do you have a combat vitae that I'm forgetting?
I don't think so.
Okay. Roll me 1d4 plus. What's the quality of your weapon?
+1.
And you are spread out, so you're +0 on the proficiency for it, yeah?
Correct.
And what's the guard on your weapon?
1.
Okay. So, this woman is approaching you with a spear. She's approaching you with a stone spear that is guard 3. The difference of guard is 2 in her favor. -2 to your roll, meaning you're rolling 1d4 -1.
Okay.
Give it to me.
D4 -1.
Oh.
Well, that's a 0 then.
Oh.
No.
So.
Wait, you want to roll well low in this game, right?
You want to roll high. Okay, so.
Oh.
So,
okay,
blood. So, Saita, right? Blood sprays all over your face as Daraka is, like, stabbed in the body, right? Hair, face, eyes, as Daraka's blood goes all over you.
Why
Daraka.
can't you just let me stay the fuck up top?
The funniest thing is, Bolade talked you into it, and he's, like, way in the rear.
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
So, 4 is a headshot. You have been stabbed in the
Okay.
head. You are bleeding
Cool.
and you enter shock.
Awesome.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna play Boulay next and make him carry himself for leading to my death.
yeah. So this guy, by the way, who Iboji shot earlier, makes his test. He has no heat.
So
to...
was it obviously better to do the other play? Because I have no idea how to play this game.
Don't worry, we don't. Next
Okay.
to you, something very pleasant happens. The clubman
Okay.
shits blood and dies right on the ground next to you.
Nice.
Meanwhile,
I love being on the ground next to other person's shit. So that is great news. Thank you.
Bolade spends a stamina to like run and jump like right over you and initiate a clash against the person who clashed against you. He
Okay.
is wielding a copper. Is it a copper or stone axe? Bolade, what? You got a copper axe. All right, you got game. Guard 1, so it's against him. He gets to roll 1d6. He has 0. He has +1. Guard is in her favor by 2. -1. She rolls. She adds +0. +0. Okay. Both of them scritchy scratch each other for 1 blood. Except your boy, Bolade, is wearing hide garment. And the spear does not... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so like Saito has a good spear and would stab through his armor, right? But it's quality many and she is quality 0, so it doesn't do that here. So Bolade is fine. Lady gets nicked for 1 more point of blood. It's a Boji's turn. Boji continues to move. Her target moved on their last turn. Needs to hit a 3. Oh! So, a rock dents the spearwoman's brain, and pink viscera flies out all over as an instant kill headshot is delivered.
Well, that was a little fucking late.
So, important note here. Very important note, all right? Because we have a party member who's in shock. We have multiple ways we could end that shock right now. It's Bula's turn, right?
Yeah.
So, Daraka, you're in shock. What this means is that one of your organs is literally failing, right? You, and you're also losing blood, which isn't good because you have bleed. Now, either of these things can be solved by your friends. Easier to solve the blood problem than it is to solve the shock problem, but both Saita and Bula have ways of ending shock, actually. You can also... So, like, the moment of shock is going to be a problem because you have to roll at or under your resolve or die, right? Which is scary. But, here's the thing. You have one heat, right? You can spend that heat to push back the moment of shock 1 turn. And Saita, who goes right after you, can end shock. So you see how that's kind of the play one might engage in, right?
Sure.
That being said, if you get... you can also spend it on staunching your wound, which would end the bleed while you commit a limb, but that's kind of... Point is, before we even decide any of that, Bula, do you have any grand plan for ending Daraka's shock?
Probably. Move forward here. That's 2. Oh, you mother. Oh, you're so far away. No.
Oh, no.
What's the range?
Oh, no.
It is Ara range, and my Ara is 4, I want to say. Yeah, 4.
Okay. Oh,
So-
fuck. You could almost do it. If someone drags Daraka 1 square, you can do it.
Oh, so 2, 4.
It's also worth noting you can spend 1 stamina to
5,
dash
6.
and get double your movement on the turn.
Oh. Well, shit. Let me do that. So 4, 5, 6, and then I just to get over here.
Hmm.
Can I see Bula from there?
You can, but she is
sorry.
1 square too far right now. But you can see this fuck. You could also put his blood into you, and then, you know.
I could.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. She's 1 square too far.
Well, fuck it. It's kind of cursed if I put it into me because I'm gonna spend a blood to rip out a D4 blood.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So,
I'll do that first.
you spend 1 blood, ripping out 1d4 blood from a 1 blood guy. He faints. Oh, actually, roll, because you could kill him outright.
Oh, okay.
If you get a 4, he's just... No, he can't.
Like that?
Actually, he's at -3, which is the point. So actually, he is unconscious.
Okay.
Hell
You
yeah.
have... I'm assuming you're slamming the blood back into yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Topping you off up to 4.
Cool.
So you move, you attack, that's your turn. Daraka, I presume that you want to delay because you want Saita to have her chance to fix you, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So Daraka spends her heat to hang on despite the danger. Saita,
Are
your
you doing medicine?
so you remember when I was talking to you about chirurgian
Mm-hmm.
and how at 3 you have a 50-50 shot to do this?
Yes.
You need to roll at or under your senses, which is a 3 to cancel the shock. Additionally, if you're willing to spend some cloth, you can end her bleeding. The question is, what cloth do you use?
Oh, I mean, I have no.
Probably wouldn't
So
be mad
my
if you used my tunic to save my life.
Yeah, do you want to you want to just rip up Daraka's
I
tunic
don't
to
I don't
save her
want to
life?
metagame, but if I was saving somebody's
I
life
mean,
and
you're
I needed
not.
to,
Technically speaking, I think you're conscious right now,
yeah, I won't be
oh,
mad.
so you could tell her.
So,
You know.
okay, fair enough. I'll use your tunic to do so.
And then now you see your patient's, blood is moving wrong. You need to readjust the humors with your hands. So give me that d6.
Okay, so I just need 1d6 or
1d6. You're trying to hit at or under your sense.
here we go, please.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So that's not it. But you do note that Bula appears to be some sort of freaking blood mage. You could like try and drag your friend closer.
I Tabula?
Yo,
Okay.
actually, Daraka's or Bolade is in the way. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll say.
All right, so
I can also waddle back on my turn.
mhm.
Waddle, waddle, waddle. Waddle away. Okay, fair. Then I will hold here then.
All right, average.
Is there any way I could do anything to hold off any substantial, like any increase in damage?
So you've already canceled bleed on Daraka, which is very good.
Okay. Good, good.
I'm trying to see. Umbral cast, cancel shock, 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 cancel shock. We're not done to shock, shock. I think you've done what you can for her. Bolade kind of picks up Daraka and carries her towards Bula, saying, "Blood mage, you must heal this strong woman." And Aboji doesn't really have a relevant role to play at this time. Bula, we're back around to one of your turns. What's the plan?
That's Boulade speaking, right?
Yeah,
Or Ballard?
Bolade
Alright.
is saying, like, save her, basically.
Yeah.
Remember,
Can I target?
if you
Can I
put,
target myself?
yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay. So there's a chance to kill myself doing this.
You won't die, but you will fall unconscious very low on blood.
Yeah. Okay.
So you do it,
No. Boulade, do you want to give up some of your blood?
and he looks at Daraka and he says that we might all live. Yes, and he kind of like
Okay.
braces for the impact.
Alright.
You rip
so
four
glad I
blood
didn't
out of
do that.
Bolade and slam it into Daraka. Daraka, your shock is canceled as your organs pump well, and the man holding you kind of staggers and drops you because, yeah, wow. So, in all that dirty heat and motion, comes to a swift end just as it began. The bodies reek of swiftly evacuated blood, and a single person, the slender slinger woman, remains alive but unconscious. You were still fairly tense and have your heat. What does everyone do?
I am going to start moving over here, and I'm gonna look at all this little stuff. Is there anything? You said there was like a moldy bread on this person. I'm gonna say moldy bread.
like a fucking parrot. Moldy bread.
There's a moldy.
It is kind of
Uh,
fitting because if I don't squint, you look a little bit like Lois Griffin. Tina.
Peter, there's some moldy bread over here.
The first thing I'm doing is drinking some water. 'Cause it's right there
you
in
go
front
and
of
you
me.
just fill the fuck up on this fresh water,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
All right. You set your water stat in the bottom right of your character sheet all the way up to 3.
Okay.
And Saito, one more item that you're gonna find. You also find a Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Leather pouch V3. Okay. Between them, you find a wood club, a stone spear, moldy bread, one bushberry, and one like ration of bushberry, and a leather pouch.
Oh, I want that. I want that leather pouch for sure.
Yeah, all of their clothes are like disgusting hempen ruin that you could use to like fuel a fire, but you probably wouldn't want to do anything else with. Um, yeah, and
It's water time though.
yeah, everyone can sup,
Yeah.
and I'll do it for the PC. But basically, you set your water all the way up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
You're very well, and you also on the slinger. Did anyone loot the slinger woman? Perhaps Daraka.
No, yeah, but I'll do that after I fill up my water.
After you drink your fill. Um,
I got one
Ooh,
bushberry.
actually, I'm gonna grab some of the like a handful of water and bring it back to
Oh
like
yeah, I
man,
forgot
because
about
that's like
him.
a thing we're doing, right?
Uh, 5 mouths is easier to feed than 6.
Hey, Blade needs blood.
yeah, so you want to go clean up the wounded person?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring him
Yeah,
some
okay.
handfuls of water.
Give me a also Saita. You
Yeah.
see, there's medicine going on. Would you be interested in helping, or are you interested in you know, goods acquisition more so?
I am just just collecting some stuff. But once I've got all my stuff, I'll drink some water and help.
Yeah.
There's not much to collect here. Unless my good friend Bola's got it taken care of. Hey, Bola, do you need any help? Not you, Alexa. What the fuck? Alexa. No one was talking to you. Stop me.
Uh, you know,
Bo- Bola.
all
Yeah.
help is if you want to help, you can help.
Yeah, you also
Help is
find
always fine.
a flask filled with this fresh water, a linen cord sling, and 2 clay bullets on the average slinger woman.
Nice. A
Okay, the
flask of
linen cord's
water.
gonna remind me, did we secure the rope?
The rope fell to the ground while Aboji was repositioning past it.
Sure. I'll wander back that way and go pick it up.
All right, so you do that, and you recollect the rope, and Bula and wait, so Saita, you do help with the wounded person.
Yeah, I'll help with them.
All right, I would say that gives you an extra 1d10 to roll, Bula, if you want to take point on it.
All right.
Give me a this is going to be a medicine resolve.
Okay. So 3d10 then.
Mm-hmm.
My medicine is 2, and my resolve is 3. So target of not hit.
You rub at the man's leg, and it seems agitated. He mostly wants to drink the water, and he says, "You must help me. I am a noble of Ushanar. Surely they will want me. You must carry me to Tamaka. I promise there will be great reward."
I'm sorry. Did he drink the water or did he not drink the water?
He drank some of the water, he's recovering.
What, do you want to get dragged over there?
And he's like, "Carry me, please. Please."
Slit in the throat is free.
Hey,
What?
Belade. I walk out and I wave over to Belade.
By the
Like
way,
kind of
Saita,
gesture.
it looks like this guy's wearing some pretty expensive shit.
I glance around. I glance at Iboji, and I look back at him and I say, "I'm sorry, sweetheart. What did you need? You needed to be brought back alive?"
Yes, trust me. There is someone very important. He will want me. And you note that he has, what you can see is he's wearing an indigo cotton tunic, which is pretty expensive, although it's,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somewhat fucked up by blood and bad liquids right now. But there is a necklace that has one bit of bronze on it, and you know that bronze is something that always moves. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much blood has been over it. But he does go on to say, Gibadebo, the glory gainer, the camp of the prince, take me to Tamaka. They will wait for me. They'll be waiting there. And do you have any history or society skill?
I do not.
Well, sounds fancy, but you have no idea if these guys full of shit or not.
Hmm.
Also, the rope is in Daraka's custody until she chooses to do something with it.
I he's healed for now, right? He's stabilized. Is that
Well, neither you nor Bula get the sense that Bula did that good of a job. I mean, he's stabilized. He's not going to die right now. It looks like there's a really nasty thing on his leg that looks like it's had dirty water in it. It's been cleaned off, but you don't know if it's been done a very thorough job on. If you had something to purify it using your medicine alchemy kind of skills, maybe you would be able to help further than what you and Bula tried to do, but you don't have anything on that like you right now. What the fuck happened to that sentence?
is his legs completely chopped off?
No. So he has his legs. His legs are just fucked up. Right now, he has to spend stamina to stand up, but he's too starving to have stamina. He's starved too much to regenerate stamina.
I throw up a half of that moldy bread.
He says, "Oh, all right." So I just like to pause here for a moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a medicine one. You have an alchemia one. You know that eating the mold, not the safest bet. Being in the fouled water with an open wound, not the safest bet. Bula and you not doing a great job cleaning it, not the safest bet. So I would just like to reiterate, we are compounding the odds this man does not live. But you will probably get him moving by giving
But you're
him
increasing
the
the
bread.
odds that we have plausible deniability.
Once he sleeps.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, so you feed him the moldy bread. He's like, "Oh, what delicious sauce," he says as he chews down on the mold that you've just handed him. By the way, you're still like plastered in Daraka's blood. So he's looking up at you. He's like,
Don't worry,
Good.
it's not mine.
"You are like an avenging spirit," he says, and you're like, nom 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 nom. Enjoys his
Yep.
bread, and you know,
That's
you
exactly
feel
what I
like
am.
once he recuperates, he's going to stop starving, and you're going to be able to get him moving on his own. But that's not going to happen until he sleeps. So for the moment, he still needs to be moved by others.
You were wasting my moldy bread. I needed you to move faster.
Do you say that?
No. No, I don't say it. I look over, there's some bones over there, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see if I can't
Construct like a bone splint?
that's exactly what I want to do. I
Yeah,
want to be
give me
like,
a medicine resolve. And do you want to either like heat up or spend stamina on this?
I will heat up, so I'm gonna roll 3.
All right. Bloop. 2 heat. And yeah, So, medicine plus resolve. Your resolve is a 4. Your medicine is a 1. That's 1 success. Not the best bone splint, but it does the job. As long as he doesn't have to do real combat movement, he can stagger about.
Sweet. I'm like, look at it. Look at our friend. He can walk now. Thank goodness, because I wasn't carrying him.
Thank you. And he's rallying. He like holds on to you and he says, "Thank you. You've saved my life. I owe everything to you. What is your name?"
I mean, if you know everything to write it down to Iboji.
And Eboji's kind of like, what?
Gives you a wink. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're good friends, Boji.
Yeah.
I want to
So,
make sure I'm setting you up for life.
and Eboji's kind of like not my type, but it doesn't say it. Um, Bula, and Daraka, what are you two up to while the bone splinting happens?
Um, I will ask if anybody found food.
Bolade says, other than the things on the bodies, no. But there is strange residue on this altar, and a large stone door here. I
Okay,
think.
well, I still haven't eaten anything. It sounds like other people have eaten things, so did we just not like save anything for everybody, or
Well,
I
who got
I saw.
custody? Who got custody of the bushberry? I think
I did.
I think Saita has one
Yeah.
moldy bread and one bushberry,
well,
and you've
she's given away half of that moldy bread, and I can't believe she's gonna want to give away all the food.
I mean, I'll give you some food, but I don't know if you want to eat the rest of the moldy bread. I mean, I was testing out the moldy bread on our friend here, and it seems to be okay.
For now,
The
I
rocket don't
suppose
tell
we
him
could
that.
try to see what's further in, but I can't imagine there's food back there. I guess unless it leads to out. So either way, we should open it.
yeah. So the two of you kind of get over here, and he says, I think together we can either move these stones for one stamina apiece, or move this heavy stone door for one stamina apiece. Which should we do first?
I think the door, right? Why would we want
Do
to
you have
go
any
with the
history,
door?
by the way?
Nope.
Okay. You slide it open, and you see a chamber with mostly destroyed shards. Bolade crouches and says, once these stored food, but they have all rotten.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
However, stepping inside, he says, look at this! And he looks, and you see there's one intact redware head pot and one glittering silver dish. It is clearly devoted to the god Oosh. He,
I don't know what that means.
there are three gods. One of them is
Oh
Oosh.
my.
He is the masculine god. And he kind of like shows it off. And he's like, surely they will want this at some temple or other, and we can prove our good nature. You also notice that it's quite valuable. It's a lot of silver.
True.
Additionally, there's a redware pot that looks like it could be used to store food. Want to crack it open?
Sure.
All right. Redware head pot, which is an item you now have. Pop it open. And what's your alchemia skill?
I don't know, but probably a -1.
All right, you
Yep.
only want metalwork.
Yeah,
It
she's
smells
just a
maybe
factory
like
worker.
salt,
It might be a seasoning of some sort,
but a little bit more like piss.
or it might be a chamber pot, and you were incorrect.
It's like a whitish yellow powder almost. Bolay doesn't know shit about it either. He
Okay,
says, "Do you think we should show it to one of the scholars, the woman or
probably.
the L-tail?"
I guess it isn't worthless that they just look at their books all day.
Wow.
Yeah. So do you take it back and show it to them?
Yeah.
All right. Well, remind me
Okay, what's this powder?
what are your respective alchemia skills?
Mine's a 0.
That's
Or -1, sorry.
oh, -1. Okay, you don't know shit.
Yeah,
Saida,
I have
what's
nothing.
yours?
My alchemist does 1, so I'm able to do
You
that.
instantly recognize a sought after substance. This is niter, also known as saltpeter. In addition to sometimes being used in incendiaries and explosives, you think that it could be used to abrasively cleanse the leg wound on this man. There are 3 units of it. You have to spend 1.
Cool. So nobody has any food then?
I look
I don't
over and I
remember
say, "Oh, sweetheart, were you looking for some food?"
I mean, that'd be nice. I hear other people have eaten.
Oh, I haven't eaten yet. But I do have a berry. I mean, it's not much. It's just a little berry.
I suppose if there's just a berry, that you should have it then.
Well, I mean, if you're that hungry, like,
Well, I mean, I haven't eaten anything, and if
yeah,
other
so,
people have eaten,
I haven't eaten.
are
well,
we a team or are we looking out for ourselves?
well, this is very confusing now. Well, I also have moldy bread. That's all I found is a. I don't know if we can cut the berry in pieces.
I think just one person should eat the berry.
Yeah, it's
What
a
about
Unless Natalie doesn't understand that berries in this land are the size of
bigger?
pumpkins.
Yeah.
it just means like a ration of berry, but like mechanically, yeah, it's like one person's gonna eat one ration,
Yeah,
dividing it below that
it's
level.
one serving size.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I broke the moldy bread in half. Is that enough to be able to give to someone else?
Yeah. So you gave half to him, and you have another half that you could give to someone.
So I offered the moldy bread, and I'm like, it didn't kill him, which is true. I see that he's
Would
not
that
dead.
be, is that like resolve that if something bad does happen from it, eating the bread?
Um, no, it will probably be a problem related to like the fitter you are, the more able you will be
Okay,
to shake it off. So you and Boulade are probably Boulade and Iboji are probably the best suited to not have too big of an issue.
gotcha.
So I hold out the moldy bread as if to be like, ah.
Well, I'll take it, but what about anybody else? Mostly, look at trying to include everybody, but mostly directing it toward the other hosses.
Yeah, Boulade kind of shrugs and says, "No, but I take first dibs on the first piece of real protein we get our hands on. I need it. I'm low on blood," he says woozily,
That's
looking
fair.
Oh,
at you
I've got
somewhat
great news
guilt-trippingly.
for you. We got two bodies over there.
And Boulade says, "Do you truly suggest cannibalism, woman?"
You asked first protein we came across. You didn't ask what kind. God, you're picky.
And
I
says,
mean, she's got you there.
"Yeah." By the way, as
Are
all
you
this happens,
starved or are
yeah,
you you must
Bula,
not be starved in my book.
I'd like to point out the Slinger woman isn't dead. She's just unconscious and at incredibly low amounts of blood that will
Oh,
probably take her a long time to wake up from. What do you do about that?
uh, well, obviously, I'm gonna drag her over here. She's a
Just
blood
toss her into the
font, right?
brackish water.
So what was that?
Does she have blood for me to take out of her, really, or no?
Um, I'm a little divided on whether or not I let people take negative blood, but not really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of like really,
You've juiced her for what she had.
yeah, that's fair. Um, and she doesn't really have anything now
We could
because
let her
everything got
convalesce
yoinked.
enough to
Yeah,
heal other people. She could
huh?
be our walking med kit.
I
Well, you need
mean,
protein to regenerate blood, so are you
yeah,
gonna feed her a lot of meat?
Oh,
no, I'm just gonna slit
I
her
thought
throat
I
with my
invented a infinite energy machine.
Roll me a resolve at or under.
had her under. That's D6, right?
Yeah.
My resolve is 3.
Yeah. Bula, you decide
So,
you don't have it in you.
fuck. Okay. I don't know. I'll just drag her over to her friends, you know,
All right.
and just leave her there,
Sounds good.
and then
So,
come back. Well,
um,
not
Oh,
in
are you
order.
gonna tell everybody you're just gonna leave her there to die? Because as soon as I find that out, I'll go slit her throat.
I mean,
It's the humane thing to do.
I say I think she's dead.
Oh, okay. I mean, well,
and
you're the one that knows medicine better,
I
so.
I blew
so
her up,
you have the
basically.
hole up, and you have those stairs that partially collapsed. Um,
The hole up.
do you want to go to the hole up and try and use the rope, or do you want to try and clear the stairs?
Oh, what about the other thing to move?
That's the stairs. There's a bunch of
Yeah, the
debris
stairs.
on the stairs. You want to go over there?
Oh, I thought there was the thing in the room, right? Because we had
You already opened the door,
and there was a door. There was another thing to open, though, I thought.
which is the stairs.
Oh,
There are two things to slide open. One was
Gotcha,
this
but I
door.
thought you pointed at the
One
thing in
was
the room there.
this. This is the stairs. So yeah,
Right, but I thought you pointed at this. Oh God, I keep trying to do it on fucking Twitch.
T.
Uh,
This dirty altar, no.
this one, yeah.
No,
That's
that's
what
the
I thought
dirty
was
altar
the
that
thing. Gotcha.
Bolade pointed out. He does say it looks like there were once food stores here, but it seems as if there was someone defiled this temple. That's disgusting. Who would
That
defile
is-
the temple of Oosh? And he also points and says, "Can anybody read that inscription?" Parentheses. Does anyone have Lingue level 1?
Nope. I turn around and say I don't
Nope.
like to read.
All right, so
Not that type of reading.
Daraka. Important note, Daraka. Some of the corpses. Well, actually, the spear woman, right?
Mhm.
She had her like dirty hempen shit is like about your size. She's like a little bigger. Would you want to strip her and take her clothing so that you don't have like just like ripped rags for clothing?
Nah, I don't know if she has pubic lice or what's going on with her.
All right, fair enough. So you are willing to spend 1 stamina alongside Bolade to clear the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, while they're doing that, I'm gonna use blood fonts. I'm gonna spend D2 stamina. Hey.
All right. So, you guys, find a stairway up, and apparently resizing the map takes a long time in Roll20 now. My bad. I didn't realize that. Shit used to be lickety split. What the fuck? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Is the map still loading for you guys? Oh no, I fixed it. I just had to reload, I guess.
Yeah, I'm having to refresh as well.
So, you guys emerge. You emerge from like the hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hear a man kind of like barking at someone.
Like
Like
woof
a
woof
dog?
or
Yeah. What do you mean?
No, not like a furry, like an aggro kind of dude, a non-furry way. And there's a slender, unfit L-tail. Presently being kind of like chewed out by a fit man, and he says, "Ah, that must be them. See, they've just gotten out. Now we'll head back to Tartaros." And then he looks over and sees who just came out and says, "Oh, hello, strangers. Oh, did you by means just happen upon these strange ruins as well?"
Of course. Yeah. Totally.
The Ushinari man with you kind of like shuffles behind you. And the fit man says, "Well, you didn't happen to see anybody else down there, did you? Not to talk myself up, but we're actually on a holy mission from Zom, which is one of the 3 gods, and we cannot be long delayed, but my companions seem to be lost."
Is there a way I can like sense if this guy's lying to me or not?
can I just lean over to you and be like, they're a source of blood. Well, it needs blood.
So
Just putting that out there.
yeah, I would say give me a sense at or under. D6.
Did I 6?
The chat isn't repopulating for me no matter what I do. So what was that number?
That
It was
is
a
a
six.
6.
All right. So you're not sure, but I mean, you're free to make your own intuitive guess.
Um, yeah, of course. We actually ran into someone not too long ago. Do you want to head down that way?
Certainly, certainly. But my friend here is a very important architect, you know. Isn't that right, Telly? And they kind of like say, oh, yes, well, I mean, since I've been working at Tartaros, I guess I have been kind of elevated in my chisel work. And the Fitman says, yes, yes. It's a monastery of Zalm, don't you know? Yes. Tartaros pits play a very important part of rehabilitation, but I won't bother you all with that. He kind of looks around, and he looks at you guys, obviously fresh from the fight and covered in blood and hype, and says, "Ah, yes, I'll just be, Telly, why don't you join me?" And we go down there. And Telly's like, do I have to? And the guy kind of like hustles him.
The juice boxes are running.
So right when I want my friend to like, I don't know how I should gesture to her or something, to like wait at the door, and
Mm-hmm.
whoever is like the second, like running or walking behind, just like to fucking collapse their mouth and like pull them back without the other person knowing.
All right, you want to tell Oboji to do that?
Yes.
Okay. She is going to oh god. Roll 20. Okay, it's loading.
I'm
Ooh,
hoping the fit
unfortunate.
man goes in first because he seems like he'd want to clear the way.
He's
But
pushing Telly in. Oboji goes to clasp the fit man's mouth and actually fails. He whips around with a dagger in his hand and says, "Hey, don't get any funny ideas." And Telly like starts running audibly and disappears down below.
Blood time.
well, that worked out it worked out anyways. You know what I say?
All right, so
Happy coincidence.
Bula, I'm assuming someone loses blood and someone gains blood. Roll me
Yeah,
a
the fit
d4.
man. The fit man for
All right, where's the blood going?
Belade.
All right, so the
Damn.
fit man
Can't always get folded.
loses one blood, and he also looks kind of fucked up. And he's like, "Wait, no! Oh my God, you have a blood mage!" And he kind of like drops to his knees, and he's like, "Please have mercy. I'll come clean. I'll tell you everything."
That was really quick.
Yeah, I really don't know if that was
I mean,
okay,
if
go.
I was deceiving people and somebody stole blood from my body, I think I would probably break too.
And he says,
Well,
"Listen, I'm."
that's hard to argue that then.
He says,
I guess.
"Listen, I'm part of a group of people. Some call us the salary men, in the sense that we're paid with salt. We collect new workers for the pits of Tartaros. We take criminals to stand trial, where they are found guilty and then put in the pit to produce salt at the Zom Monastery."
That's cool. We hunt slavers.
And says, "Oh, I don't do any slavery. No. It's all a very legal process, you understand."
That doesn't mean it's not slavery, but
Well, you see, it's the loophole. If it's punishment for a crime, then it's okay. We're rehabilitating them, really.
You know, you're really in deep trouble
And
when
you're-
the one who doesn't like to read is looking at you like you're fucked.
Well, you see, we came upon a group of Ushinari, and we had a disagreement. And the man says,
And the hole is getting deeper.
You piece of
Deeper.
shit. You're with the group that attacked the camp of the prince." Yes, but it wasn't my idea, you see. There was a large woman downstairs, probably dead now. She picked a fight and then had the good graces to faint after getting stabbed one time. Anyway, now here we are. I didn't want it. We usually go after criminals and raiders and deserters and the like, but it wasn't exactly clear who your prince was, and there was something crazy story about Ushanar being destroyed, but I mean, he looks at you and kind of like trails off and says, "That's not true, is it?"
I mean, I didn't. Hello?
Hello.
We
Mm,
didn't. I don't know
mean,
anything about
there's not
this.
really any reason to lie about it. So, yeah, it's true.
And says, "My goodness, how horrible." Well, at least you survived, yes?
So it seems so far.
Well, I even got off on the wrong foot. That L-tail down there is a very handy mason, and they have lots of information I'm sure you'd love to know. I'm very good at handling them. I'm their handler. That's my job. They make adjustments to various stoneworks we find. All very much in line
Do
with
they
the
do
teaching,
that?
of course.
Do they do that willingly, or do they do that for money?
Well, for money.
Okay, you're paying them?
They work for the monastery of Zalm. I believe that they are in line for an apprenticeship and might become a priest one day.
Damn, I used to work for those pyramid schemes too a long time ago.
Oh, I think you're thinking of Kep. They have pyramids further east.
Yeah, of course, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Um, whatever makes him happy, I guess. But so, you're gonna come bring in what would that do for us if you go bring your friend back and handle him up here?
Well, they have a wide variety of skills, and they're a local to the area, so they might be able to help with any desires you have finding things.
Uh, how do we not know that you're not just gonna run down there and hide like a bitch?
Well, I mean, look at me. I've had blood ripped out of my body. You outnumber me significantly.
Not what if you run away? Do you think we're idiots?
He says,
There's not much
"Well,"
room to run if we throw him in the pit.
I mean, he kind of trails off and says, you know, I can pay you. I have a stash of salt in
Oh, I have a
Tamaka.
great idea. Daraka, why don't you put a rope on him? Put a
No,
like and we can just leash him.
and Fitman says, no, 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 that won't be necessary.
I mean,
Why
If you
not?
if you come in with me as your prisoner, people will ask questions, and you might have a
well, we're
problem
not
with the
coming in
salary
as a
man.
prisoner. We're just your handler, like your friend.
He says, well, I don't have a rope on them.
Well, obviously they ran away. You're a terrible handler.
Oh. The
You
fit
need to do
man
better. You need to do better at your job.
Fit man laments his circumstances and says, fine, as long as you feed me, I suppose.
All right.
Bolade kind of looks at Daraka and points to the monk's mouth.
Nod sadly at him, like, yeah.
So, do you guys go retrieve the L-tail presently hiding down below?
Yes, but I want to
Sure.
make sure that the rope is done like very Shimbari style, so it's like around the body like a harness, but it's like wrapped up in the back, so like you would have like the kid harness that you
Yeah,
see kids
so
running.
Saita, you have him. So you have to spend a span. It's been 2 spans to do that. I'm gonna say you have 4. There's 4 squares of lead on him, and you have him by the leash. He is like physically fitter than you. I know you're fit as well, but you're smaller than him, so it would be like a slight advantage to him to try and get away. But you have him by the leash,
uh,
or you could have Bolade or Daraka walk him.
I look over at one of the two and say, "Look, I finished the."
Bolade says, "I have no interest in pets," and then looks at Daraka.
Okay.
All right, Daraka. Shiobari
Don't worry. Don't
Salaryman.
worry. Anytime,
Yeah.
anytime anyone asks, we'll tell them just like the mothers tell them.
Yeah.
They enjoy this.
You hear the telly, you hear the person below cry out in terror.
Oh, we better hurry.
All right, you go investigate, and you find them shocked, looking at all of the corpses.
Oh,
And
Oh my God, what happened here? What were you doing?
and they're like, "What? No, it wasn't me. They were already dead."
Oh my God, we left you alone for a little bit and you're a mass murderer. We're gonna have to rope you up. Your
And-
handler was right. You're out of control.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" Also,
You're out.
it feels like you've already used a lot of your rope. You would have to have both of us an exceedingly short rope to achieve that. Are you really
You're
going to do
right.
that?
what, do you
right.
both want to be roped together? Is that what you're whining about?
No,
It would be
no.
easier to transport
Listen,
if one of you was a corpse.
listen.
That's true.
I don't listen. I don't want anything to do with it. Okay? I thought that I was going to a nice apprenticeship at a monastery. Okay?
Uh-huh. He said you were.
Well, yes, but enough with the
Uh-huh.
lies. It's not. I mean, and Telly like runs their hands through their hair, and
It's
says,
slavery, right?
they convict pretty much everyone who goes through the courts, and they sentence them to salt mining. Very few people survive their sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of
I
figured
got
that.
that vibe when he said it was
They
a
really just
loophole.
wanted me to maintain the sidings and help keep the cranes working. I didn't realize they were going to have me doing these things and running around. And I'll admit, I also sabotaged the cistern roof so that it would collapse at an opportune time. I mean, the depths I've sunk to are honestly depraved. I feel like I am unclean in the eyes of the gods.
I mean, it sounds like it. You know what? Do you have any food on you?
And Telly roots around and says, "Yeah, I have rye grain," and pulls out X2 rye.
All right. Listen.
Oh,
Give me that 2 rye bread.
right.
Yeah, hands over the rye and says, "Okay, what now?"
And then I look over at the others and I say, I kind of gesture, should we give him a head start or should we just let him run?
Wait, what?
This
Why are we
one.
killing
I
him?
don't-
He was the
I
one
don't
that
say-
was he was
We don't-
convicted to go. Why?
But he knows information. Like we might need him. We can make. What if we trade outfits? Can you trade outfits with our little rope friend and maybe you pretend to be him instead? You could be a salaryman now. No one will know any better.
And Telly says, "Oh, I suppose." And Simon's like, "Wait, what'll happen to me?"
This.
Wait,
You'll get sent to your loophole.
you're gonna be Tally now, and anyone who asks any different, we're gonna be like, Tally, shut up. You're under. You know
And of
you're.
course, you're gonna if you deny who you are when we get there. Of course, that makes sense. You realize what it is.
Yeah, you're a bad guy. You're not gonna want to admit that you're Tally.
All right, so in this process, you have to do some tying and untying, but the salaryman is now Shiobari. Telly is now dressed as the salaryman, and are you gonna make them like run, or are you like what are you gonna do?
Oh no, you're fine. If you're gonna be a part of the group and help us like navigate through the as not Tally, we should be fine. We just need to get through that scary area. You should know a little bit about this region. I don't read much
Oh well,
in this.
yeah, I'm from around here. I can help you get around.
Sweet.
You're really proud of
we
not
actually-
reading a lot.
Well, I'm just not educated in this area of expertise, and it seems pretty
That's fair.
important.
And he says, yeah. So the wounded guy Ekon says, "Wow, I have seen such justice and guile today. Truly, I am part of a band of heroes." And yeah. With that, you head surface side, and I mean, it's important to note. So you guys have some pretty good bushcraft. Bolade has good bushcraft, and actually, he would suggest if we take some time to cook that rye, we could get 3 loaves of bread.
Sure.
That'd be amazing.
That would be nice, but the only 3, like for one ride for 3 or 2, we get.
It's
6.
going to be 2 for
It's
it's
3
a 1.5er.
loaves.
Basically, you convert a 1.5. So if you spend 2 rye, you get 3 loaves.
Okay. I was hoping 1 for 3. I get a little, excited.
Mm, So
I was hoping
you're
he
It
was
feels like you're
really
bargaining with
doing.
the law of physics right now.
Listen. I was hoping he was a magic man. He's obviously isn't doing anything super magical. He just sounds like he wants to bake some bread.
yeah. So you are in a desert. It is the first half of the day. Everyone is at full water, but otherwise, you're going to start to suffer consequences like scurvy and not regenerating blood and other bad things if you don't.
We're already 2 days ahead. Why don't we camp out at the cistern / temple?
Yeah, so you can, but the question is the rest of the food.
Well, we're baking the bread, right?
Yes. So Bolade volunteers to take care of, or well, I mean, anyone can really. Um, we now come to the active and passive foraging rules.
Okay.
Who of you have any skill in bushcraft?
I have 1 skill in bushcraft.
I am
I have -1.
-1. Crap. I'm really good at important stuff in my
I'm a
brain.
city girl that builds things.
So, you can passively forage at bushcraft +1, although it grants you the bounty level of the biome. You are in a desert. Its bounty level is 0. So passive foraging is going to get you jack shit. You have 2 other options remaining. Actively foraging and hunting, either of which you need to spend half the day doing. And yeah, you could camp out at the cistern, right? As like the base of
Okay.
operations and do it from here. Because you have water here at least, right?
Yeah.
So if we here's just a food for thought. Here's food for thought. Uh if we were to actively gather, you said there's nothing in the area, right?
Well, strictly speaking, like I mean, there's still food in the desert, but it's hard to find. You know what I mean? You can
Yeah.
find
You're
like
not just gonna
mushrooms
walk
and
by a berry
berries
bush.
and
You have to like.
cactus or whatever. Like it's out there in the desert. Things live in the desert, but it's hard to
Right.
find, right?
Is it more likely to find meat though? I don't know if it's any more likely to find meat than it is berries. in the
So you
desert.
can. So here's your choices are going to be active foraging and hunting. If you find anything while you active forage, there's a 1 in 4 chance it's mushrooms, which are protein, which will do everything meat will do for you. You can also hunt, which is a little more risk reward. It's like a skill check, but rather than adding like a like 2d10 and getting to add stuff to it, it is 1d10 plus the bounty level, which is 0 here. And for every success, it's 3 more protein meat on the game. So basically, you're only going to catch like a desert rat or like a lizard or something that has 3 meat on it, if you get anything at all. And that's a bushcraft sense run, which strictly speaking,
I have like a 3.
Oboji has like a 40% chance for it because she has no points. What's your sense again, Bulltrip?
2, so it's a 50-50. Right.
Well, what's your
Oh,
bushcraft?
my bushcraft is 1, so it's a
Just
total of
kidding.
3.
So basically, if you send out a Boji, she's got a 40% chance to find like a source of meat. And she can do it twice today if you stay here. Similarly, your boy, so sadly he's got like dog shit sense. But
Yeah.
your boy Bolade has 1 in bushcraft. So he can't actually passive forage, but that's not going to help you here. But you could have him like look for shit, and you could have her hunt. Do you want to? Just to commit the NPCs?
I would say so, yeah.
Alright, so she needs to hit 4. She does.
Hey.
She needs to hit a 4. She does. Holy shit. Okay. And now she has to spend her ammo permanently. I will let her use the clay bullets.
So that's my girl.
Kill. Kill. Okay. After a full day, Iboji comes home with 6 meat from just slanging in the desert.
That's my girl.
She's down both of the clay bullets. They're destroyed when you hunt, but she comes back with that. And Bolade goes out and he actively forages. And he is going to get just 1d10. He needs to hit. Oh, Bolade has dog shit sense, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He needs to hit a 3. So we'll see if he gets a yield either time. No and no. Okay. Bolade comes home empty-handed, but finishes cooking the bread. And Iboji comes home with 6 meat. So basically, she's feeding the village right now. Do the party members want to go out as well? And if so, who is like minding your prisoner, wounded rich guy? Maybe he's rich and not Tele. Or do you want to just like chill here for the moment?
I can also forage. It'd be a 30%. It'll have the same stat line as.
Sure. You want to do it twice?
Yeah, might
Give
as
it to me.
well. That's 2d10 for 2 separate ones. So I didn't get anything.
Neither of them. All right. But so Duraka and Saita stay home, right?
Um, I mean, I can't forward, or I'm -1, so.
So you'd have a 20% chance to get anything. And it's
I would-
bounty level plus forager's bushcraft actually, meaning that yeah, you really speak you'd bring home nothing. Yeah, no, you really can't. It's the desert.
So,
You don't know about this shit.
so I mean, I might bake some bread while
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
And just to be clear, you don't spend any saltpeter on Econ's leg, right?
Uh,
If we want him to live, we probably should.
I kind of make an eye glance at him. I forgot about him for a minute until like he probably makes like a wince. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
like, that guy.
And then you
Uh,
salt his leg.
yeah, I give him a little bit of salt. I'm like, lay down. Let me put some salt on it. You know what they say, salt the wound is all.
And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And the Shibari salaryman is like, "Hey, when do I get my wound salted?"
But wound.
And he's like, "Oh, well, I guess you sort of ripped it out of me. Never mind." So everyone comes home for the day, and do you guys like camp out in the cistern and cook?
Pretty
3 loaves
well,
of
yeah.
bread, 6 cooked meat. So not to get too logistical here, but who's eating?
Does the salary
Well, that one
have to
dude
eat?
has the fucking dibs on protein.
Yeah, so Bolade is getting at least 1 meat.
Mhm.
And Saita, you can advance people's wounds to heal faster.
Okay, I will do that.
Let me just check something about wounds. Ba-doop. 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 All right. Yeah. So actually, both of the people who have the wounds are wound level 1 right now. So as long as they're not starving, you're good.
Oh, well, they're fine. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And all right. So we're feeding Bolade. Yum yum yum. I will feed him. Bolade gets 1 protein. How is it distributed otherwise?
I'm kind of hungry.
Oh, by the way, you can mix rations, so you could make 3 like meat sandwiches, giving yourself. So you could give 3 people both meat and starch, if you wanted to.
Well, I would agree to.
All right, so 3 people get meat and starch. I'm gonna guess Bolade is one of them. Saita is one of them. Who's the third?
Kind of like
I
leave it
mean,
up
who would
to
it benefit
whoever.
the most to have it?
Yeah.
Bula needs to regenerate blood, so she needs protein, but she doesn't necessarily. I mean, let me
I
talk about the
mean,
bad things that happen to you, right? Um, starch, right? Run out of starch, you start to starve, losing one fitness, then one size, alternating until there is nothing left to lose, parentheses death. Fibrosity, scurvy, you no longer regenerate blood while you sleep. Protein,
Ooh.
no longer regenerate stamina after sleeping, spikes restore one less stamina. And blood regen, when you sleep at less than full blood, you clear all your protein and regenerate that much blood.
Um, I really
I
need.
would.
Wait, do I need stamina?
I need stamina, but
I eat a sandwich. And I just look at everyone else as if to be like, "Well, I won. I'm sure y'all can figure out the rest."
I mean, I have an ability where I can just generate blood for stamina, right? So,
So
like,
you're like, yeah, I'll contract scurvy.
I'd rather not contract scurvy over.
Oh
Right?
yeah, shit. That's the
Thanks.
that. Oh shit, that's the yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Says it real calmly too. Wait a minute here.
Yeah, and you'll get this sleep before the negative effects kick in.
Okay.
So you'll get to regenerate even if you don't have fiber in the tank.
Okay.
All right. So right now, is the Bula? Are you eating the loaves and bread or not?
Sure. If it
Okay.
is offered to me, I eat.
All right. Daraka, what have you had?
Moldy bread.
All right. So you're up one starch, and you are up three. And you can also have a meat if you want.
Oh yeah, I'll have meat.
And that leaves 2 units of meat. And you have 3 non-companion NPCs with you. Not Tele, the Shiobari salesman, and Econ. Do you try and like save the meat for later? Do you try and give it to them? Econ has eaten. He had moldy bread.
I mean, Tally provided the frickin' rye for the bread, so he should probably have something.
Iboji, did Iboji eat yet, or does she need to eat?
Yeah. Oh wait, shit. No, she hasn't. Yeah. So she'll eat meat.
Yeah, I need like she was so good at hunting that she deserves
Yeah, she
some.
gotta
So
have it. And then
So
has
now we
anyone
got
eaten that
Do I
berry
Shiobari.
notice
yet?
she doesn't have any clay, whatever?
What's up?
Do I notice she's out of ammo?
Yeah. Well, she's out of the good ammo.
Because I got two clay things off of that one
Oh yeah.
person, so I'm gonna give them to her.
All right. So, bloop, ammo up.
Because if she's bringing home 6 units of meat with hers, she should have them.
Yeah. So, you guys, all the meat is exchanged, and basically what it amounts to is that
We got one piece left here.
the Shiobari salary man is going to be kept hungry.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. He grumbles and proceeds to starve, but he had water, so no one dies. Presumably, you have him drink from the water like a dog. So, the night passes, the recuperation happens, and everybody who had any meat, you clear out. So basically, right? So you see your sustenances. Let me make sure I don't fuck up my own rules, because it will make you starve faster if I do. 1 second. Okay.
I appreciate your diligence.
Okay, each day a day passes, an actor consumes no ration containing a given sustenance, empty a box. Okay. So, you don't tick down if you've eaten a ration containing. And if you're below max blood, though, you will clear out, like you go down to 0 protein, but you heal 1 blood for every protein you're down. Sorry if that makes sense. And like Bula,
Yeah.
you had some, so you go up, you're at max, but you're at 0 protein.
Yeah.
So you're at like the resource scarcity risk phase, but you're otherwise doing fine. This guy's leg wound is healed. You have a wound. You had a wound past tense on you. Daraka, it is healed. Everything else is fixed. And yeah, you guys, Econ the next morning says, well, we should, all filled up on water, we should make for Tamaka and see how far we can go. I hear it should be within the next day or two. And then, Not Telly helpfully tells you it is 4 spans. Meaning that, yes, at the end of tomorrow we'll reach it. Shall we?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is my 2 speed continuing to help us? Has it helped us at all? I assume that's why we were 2 days early.
Yes. So,
Okay.
there's a campaign calendar. You arrived. They don't really use these words, but because we use them, I'm using them for tracking. You know what I mean? You arrived on the Friday of what you could call week 0.
Okay.
You are now awakened on. I'm like making a mark of where it is on the calendar document. On Saturday of week 0. Normally you arrive in week 1. The deeper into the chronology the campaign gets, the more, shall we say, desperate the scenario is.
Oh.
So,
well,
yeah, if you could arrive at Tamaka during week 0, it might be even better. But arriving in week 1 is still good, and being 2 days late to arrive in week 1 is good. You know what I mean? So that is what your valiant peepee has granted the party. So, looking around at looking around at the valiant scenario. So, everybody who ended that day at 0, you now suffer. You will going forward suffer from the lack of it. Meaning, so no one ate the berry, right?
I did not. Was that fibrosity?
Yes. No one ate the berry, right?
So we all have impacted colons.
You all have scurvy.
Oh, wait, that's not till tomorrow.
You all have scurvy.
Oh no!
Yep. So, what do you do, my scurvy suffering crew?
Go back in time and eat the fucking berry?
Well, I mean, you could just eat it now.
You can eat it today.
Oh my god, I thought I ate the berry. That's why I took it off.
Oh, just kidding. No, you ate the berry. All right.
Oh, then you ate the berry.
Yeah,
because I couldn't eat the moldy bread.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was like anything like that was gonna keep me stamina up. So now I feel bad because I wasn't supposed to.
Well, you don't have scurvy. No, I mean, only one of us was not gonna have scurvy, so you're the one that doesn't have scurvy.
Yeah, you're the one who doesn't have scurvy. So your blood, you alone still have functional blood regen. Assuming, of course, protein to do anything with.
Thank you, Juice Box.
Oh
God. And yeah, so let me put a little light here. So don't come to this portion of desert. Fuck, I'm kind of fucking up the map. Pretend you didn't see that. All right, so this is the party cube, if you will. All right, so. You know that Tamaka, is apparently you just head east-northeast, and you'll arrive at this oasis town of Tamaka. Do you used to start heading that way?
Might as well.
1, 2. Okay. The sun is getting low in the sky. If you are all willing to, and also the heat has gone away for everyone. And everybody is maxed out on stamina, although that won't be necessarily the case anymore going forward with some things if you continue to not have good nutrition. So, you are here, right? You all see the world map? There is desert. There's a cistern behind you. You think you might be able to push through the night, but that would still leave you 1 span away from Tamaka. You can't see it. Do you guys camp out here?
I mean, we can push forward.
If you push forward, what's going to happen is you are going to actually, let me check something.
Okay.
Black. Scurvy. So, Not everyone had protein yesterday.
True.
Those people are sluggish and cannot push longer.
Okay. Do we care about any of them?
I don't think. Oh no, Saito did. I think Saito's the only person who had all three. Bula, did you? Yeah, you did. Wait, who didn't
Yeah,
have? Who
I
didn't
had
have protein?
The salaryman.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The salaryman or econ. So these two didn't have protein.
Oh, okay.
They
Well, I
can't
guess we
push
hold up
on.
then.
You could carry econ if you were willing to, go to 0 stamina. Do you want to?
No.
Wait, what is
I want to
does
slit
your
his
Santa
throat
mean?
and continue on.
No, slitting his throat. He's got monies. He's worth money. Oh, we can buy more food with him. Hopefully.
All right, so you guys make camp for the night.
Wait, so we're slavers now?
Wait, which
Well,
one are
you're
you
talking about the guy who insists he's rich and has friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
He's-
Saito.
No, I don't. I
is-
don't want to slit his throat.
All right, so who is handling the
Anymore.
Shiobari'd salary man?
I'm assuming it's still me.
Yes.
All right.
I imagine every once in a while that Duraka pulls the rope, just knowing that she wants to cut his throat, but she can't.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So, you spend a night in the desert, in the hot night, in the cool night, in the hot sun, trade places. That is how you pass the Saturday of week 0. Does anybody have anything to eat?
Nope.
We're gonna have to.
That's okay. We'll be at the settlement before it's a problem.
Also, hold on. Let me see something real quick. Okay, Bolade gains 1 heat, goes down 1 stamina. Bounty level. Oh no, yeah, no, he can't. He's not doing that. He can't get shit in the desert. Okay. So you end the day. You are all very hungry. So be sure to tick down your water, unless anybody drinks from the water skin that you got. So
Oh yeah, I'm
I
gonna down
mean-
that. I'm gonna drink that.
And then if you didn't eat anything today, like you didn't take in any protein or starch or fiber, that goes to 0. And was anybody already at 0 starch when that happened?
No.
All right, yeah, and you were at 1 on everything, Saito, so you're good. You
Yeah.
tick down to 0 on everything. But, so, that's how you pass Saturday. You are without food. You are walking this salaryman who starts to babble incoherently and say, listen. And he's like, it's Sunday morning, week 1. He's Shiobari'd to the leash, but he comes up to Saita, and he says, Saita, listen.
Listen.
I have
I'm
I have a
listening.
salt deposit. It's underneath the teardrop in a safe place, but they won't let you in if I'm not with you. You just.
Oh, are you dying? What are you talking about? You're with us right now?
He's like, yes, but I'm starving.
Yeah, we're all starving.
He's like, and he's like, just promise me you won't kill me, and I'll give you my wealth.
After you die? I'm so confused.
And he's
You're
like,
gonna give me your wealth when we get to the place, or
yes, but you have to give me your word that you'll feed me when you have my wealth.
oh yes, of course, of course I will.
And he says, swear it by the goddess of fire and air.
I swear it by the goddess of fire and air that I will feed you with your wealth that you have.
Thank you. And with that, he continues to be walked. The first span, boom! Tamaka appears on the horizon. Second span, boom! You arrive outside the city. Ba-dow, ba-dow. So, Tamaka is a great walled oasis. And you see 3 camps outside. One is very freshly set up, and it's outside like an outer ditch that the town has. And this is your token, the survivors. Ba-doop, ba-doop. You guys can move this one, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys stumble in and you see there are 3 camps. Econ immediately indicates this one to the north and says, "Take me there."
Is that farther away?
Well,
It's on the way to the
Take-
gate.
It's on the way. Well, then we might as well take him there. Okay. I have
Why
his
not?
wealth now. I mean, might as well.
And so Econ is like the dude who you saved, who, by the way, let me just see something.
Econ's the funny guy with the limp now.
I mean, we
Um,
call him Limp Biscuit, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn, Gene.
Daraka.
because he had the moldy bread.
Yeah, he got
And he
it.
got a leg
Yeah,
injury.
Daraka. So both Econ and Daraka, as you enter town, feel ill. The moldy bread has caught up with you.
Oh no.
Well,
That's fun.
you
So-
can
so you
laugh
guys
and be like,
arrive,
I gotta poop.
So, like, you look a little crazy. Daraka is, like, barely dressed. You know, there's some bloodstains and damage overall. You arrive at the camp of the prince, and you see something surprising. It's almost like this is a proper Ushinari noble's retinue. Almost. And you see there's an upstart noble here. And they have a coterie of what appear to be temple officials, warriors, and others who seem to have some great use. There are about 30 of them. And you see the man, Gabadebo Glory Gainer, very well appointed in the middle of his camp. He's stewing. He's not happy. He's sweltering the heat. He's having his forehead dabbed. And he sees you. And then he looks at Econ, and he looks very surprised. And he stands up, and he looks at the people coming with you, and he says, "What is the meaning of this?" And he points to, you know, the guy you're walking on a rope, and says, "And who do I have to thank for returning to me one of my flock?" He says, pointing to Econ.
The 3 of us, all of us.
Fuck. Wait.
There's 5 of us.
Yes, the 5 of us. Sorry, I forget about our other friends.
Don't leave out my farm boy.
And one of the warrior women points to the guy who's all tied up and says, "Hey, he was one of the attackers."
That's why we got him on a rope. You can do whatever you want with him afterwards.
No,
You're
he's talking
welcome.
about Econ. Oh, yeah.
And he says, "Wait, no, you promised me." And they kind of like look and they're like, "Promises?" And then someone says, "Wait."
Wait, I'm confused.
Okay.
I thought the rich one wanted us to keep him alive. He gave
They
us-
both did.
Okay, so Econ. So Econ,
Uh-huh.
right? He is the wounded leg, rich bro friend of Prince Camp guy, right?
Okay.
The prisoner has the stash of salt under the teardrop.
Oh, that's the one that we're supposed to be getting. Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you still offer him.
So I turn around and say, "Listen,
You don't have his wealth yet.
yeah, we don't have his wealth yet.
Well, I
listen,
didn't promise him shit.
We can't give you this one because he has to pay for his crimes.
And they kind of have a bit of a short moment. And I have an
he's
important question.
roped up. He's roped up. He ain't going anywhere. So.
Where is the attire cloth where's the attire sash that you pulled off of the corpse?
I was in my. It's stashed away.
But where? Because you have one small leather pouch.
It is all in that pouch.
All
I
right,
really
so
don't
you have
have
it.
much.
All right, you have it totally in the pouch. They look you over, and yeah, you're not wearing anything else that was obviously looted. You look pretty rough, and uh, Gibadebo looks you over and says, "By what authority does this group decide how justice will be passed?" He doesn't necessarily seem angry, but he is kind of testing you, and he looks over the whole group. Does anyone respond, maybe?
By the authority of the fire god and the wind god.
And he kind of cocks a brow and he says, I see. So this group of, led by you two warrior women, I presume, he says, pointing to Saita, Daraka, and Iboji, it claims to be, and he kind of like, so basically, give me a religion aura.
Okay.
You want to gain heat for this?
I will.
I'll put you on the I'll put you on the board. Let me go get everyone. Um,
What, you want me to roll a d6 or?
it's this is the 2d10 one, and you can
Okay,
if you're
2d10.
getting the heat, you roll a third d10.
I will take one because it seems like a necessary at this point.
Okay, nice. So, yeah, your aura is 3. Your society is -1, so you get a double success. So he looks up at you and he says, I hadn't noticed. Your hair is so fire red, and I can see the flames of justice are deep in your eyes. He nods and says, well, tell me your name.
My name is Sarta.
And he raises his hand, looks to his camp, and says, henceforth, she shall be known as Saita, the lawgiver, and hers shall be the talons of Ha. And there is some commotion among the camp. And he says, take this wretched mongrel with him and dispense with him as you will. Surely you know the path to justice. And Ekon says, yes, she was a great friend and offered me bread when I was starving and healed my wounds. And like, oh wow, she even heals people. So, you know, all of a sudden your popularity with the camp of the prince is really boosted.
Wait.
Yep.
If we
So,
done it, is this where we want to be for our lives?
well,
Do we want? Do you have enough food that you could pass us at least a day's worth of food, like a small meal?
he
Before
kind of
we
has
move
a
forward?
hard look to his face and he says, I wish that you asked in gentler times and I would have it, but let it not be said that I am stingy. And he actually takes off a piece of his own jewelry. And he says, they will not allow me to pass inside the walls because they say I'm a commander of a foreign army. However, you will surely be able to enter and find a fine price for this. And what he offers you is a silver armband, which I'm going to say is 2 bits of silver plus. No, I'm going to say it's 3 bits of silver. Okay. So, and then that's work level 3. Okay, 9 value. Silver armband. He hands you a silver armband and basically says, go pawn this shit and buy food with it because they're not going to let me inside.
Do you need anything? Do you want us to pawn anything more and bring back to you?
And people are kind of like a little bit about it because they're priest types and magic types and warriors, and they're all very attached to their shit, and they're kind of in denial. But he does say, if you he says you can scout for us if you find fit Ushinari who are equipped Send them to us. For surely we are the last war band of our people that yet stands in these lands. And we will be happy to trade information. And should we come upon gentler times and ready food, of course, you will be first to join my table.
And it'll be a dinner to be remembered.
So Econ has left the party, and you guys have done a good deed. Saita has been deemed Saita the Lawgiver, and they happily allow you to walk the Shiobari'd salesman away. Do you guys approach the gates?
Where's the
Yes.
teardrop? Is it inside the gates?
Yeah, so he says, Thank you for saving me. Please, I'll do anything. I'll wash the clothes. You know how bad they've gotten. And actually not Telly says, that district is the teardrop. And he points down here and he says, this is the teardrop. This is the Market Hill. And I can point out other things to you, like the palace, which is sort of like this raised fortress kind of becoming palace area to the north. But first, we're going to have to get by the gates. They have a law of declaration here. And Telly, not Telly, leans in and says, they'll be expecting us to declare any heavy souls. That means Bula. But they might look with suspicion upon us if we enter town with the Blood Magus. I'm not sure what we should do.
Well,
How hard is it for you to just get past?
You could just not say that you're a Blood Magus.
That's
but
what I was gonna say. I would
Yeah.
say, Bula, you're no longer a blood magus.
But of course, it's one thing to go in and be sus. It's another to go in and use your blood magic somewhere someone
Yeah.
sees and be revealed to be a liar.
Just don't do it. Behave
So we're
yourself.
gonna trust the guy that we're holding prisoner against his will and forcing him to give up. We're gonna trust that he's not gonna like out us or blackmail us in there.
Well, I mean, he's on a short run.
He gets
if-
on his knees and he says, "No, please, just think of me like a dog. See, I'm very loyal."
I would like
Please,
to
can
try
I
to
have some
sniff out
food?
if it's bullshit or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
When have you seen us get food, you dumb fucking bastard?
roll me a d6 adder under your senses, Daraka.
Okay.
Or actually, no, hold on. I would say this is a sense society.
Well, that's unfortunate for me.
Well, you roll
So I have
2d10.
to roll a
You
one?
can gain a heat if you want to roll it again.
2d10?
Yeah, it's a skill run.
No, I'm not gonna spend a point on that. I have to get like a 1. 2d10 is worse
All right.
than a d6.
Oh,
I rolled a one. Oh shit!
Wait, you
you
got
succeed.
it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
You see that he just needs to be pushed. So like he's kind of lying right now, but he's already so used to like doing horrid things in wretched conditions that if you push him just like one more time, you think you could probably break him into like a pliant servant.
I'm gonna grab his leash
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna get right in his ear
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be like, "You may say the words, but they'll be your last as you bleed out from your throat."
So he's very scared. He's
And
primed.
I giggle, and I'm like, I wish she would have said it louder. I
I
don't know
think
what
it's
she
scarier
said.
if she goes in and whispers it.
I know, but it's like I don't know what she said, but I hope it's the look on the face that
Yeah, I
says
know,
like,
horror.
oh, yeah, it says,
Um,
I wish I would have heard.
Yeah, so you guys approach the gate. There are some people here with bronze helmets, spears. They look pretty legitimate. There are walls, 2 tiers, pretty serious place. And they say, "Halt! Declare yourself and your intentions here." And they're all clearly like scanning you with very scrunched up eyes.
Betrayed?
Huh?
Oh, I said to trade.
And they scratch their chin and they say, "Do you have any tin to declare? Or perhaps that you are in the company of a heavy soul?" And their eyes kind of like scan all over.
What do they mean by tin? Do they mean
They
like
literally
actual
mean tin.
tin?
They
They
literally
literally
mean
mean
tin
We
tin.
ain't got no tin. Do you look like we have tin? And do you think we have any heavy souls?
Then they shrug and say, "I don't know. Your whole society's been uprooted, and you used to export tin. Whatever. All right, so you're Ushinari who are here to trade. They look you up and down and say, what do you even have of value to trade? You look like you just got dragged in.
Well, that's rude. I have this, and I hold up the silver armband.
Also, the
They
silver
kind of,
cup,
one
too.
person whistles at it and the other comes up close, squints their eyes and says, looks legitimate. They shrug and say, must be some rich person's thing they're pawning. One person looks at Daraka and says, you there, are you really going to come in saying that you're here to trade, dressed like that?
It's hot out here. What do
You
you
said
mean?
you said yourself we are from a land that has ceased to be. It's been rather difficult
His fellow guard says, come
to stay
now,
fresh.
you are harsh against the Ushinari. They have brought things of value. Let us open
I'm
our
also a
door.
skilled smith and decent woodworker if you need anything repaired or built.
Oh, well, those are valuable skills, although I confess, they kind of look at each other awkwardly and say, well, I'm sure you'll find a place for those skills a little further east. But with that, the gate opens
Fair.
and they say, but remember, this invitation isn't open to any of the other 3 camps. We can't have all those folk in here at once. And with that, you are allowed in to the Oasis area. Ooh. And yeah, you're in town. It bustles with people. Let me find my bustling. Yeah, this is a bustling amount of people. It
Oh, good. So
bustles
it's
with.
less likely this guy's going to be recognized as we drag him by his home
Yeah.
to give us his
Although
money.
they do. I mean, you are bringing in. Someone says, "Wait, one moment. That prisoner you have with you. What are you intending to do with him?"
We're again. He's
Well,
already being punished, right?
And
he can't be put on trial if he dies of hunger, and we are all hungry.
and he said, "Oh, well." They kind of look and there's like a flash of recognition behind one of their eyes, and the guy's gonna stop you. And then he recognizes the person you have on the leash, laughs, and says, "Fair enough."
Oh,
Oh
fuck yeah, dude.
no!
And yeah, so you are out in the town. Um,
I
There's a
When
smile.
we get past the guard, I'm going to lean in and be like, looks like I'm not the only one that hates you.
and there's 3 caravans here, right?
Yeah.
There's a Kepesh caravan with stained blue lip and Egyptianish styles. There's an Ulano caravan of unique nomads who seem to mix religious symbolism
Oh,
and the
fuck.
symbol of the Magi. And what's up?
Sorry, I did something stupid IRL.
No.
All good. And there is a Karish caravan of the fallen Queendom of Care, and they all have donkeys and camels and horses and such drinking from the central oasis. And you see there are priests of Ush, there are thaumaturges of Ush, who are doing holy magics, and actually like giving of their blood into and like causing more water to rise. They kind of tiredly go back here, and you realize this is the Temple of Ush. Um,
Oh.
Bolade says, I hate to point it out, but we have a very valuable piece of silver that belongs to the Temple of Ush.
Oh
Are we
yeah, we
thinking of
should.
returning it, or he trails off?
Let's return it.
Huh.
Oh, wait a minute. The bangle? The
No,
bang?
no,
No.
no, no. It's a
You,
cup.
they found a silver tray worth 20
Mhm.
in that
Oh,
room that had the
thank
big door.
God. I was gonna be like, what treacherous little bitches. Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck you. You're the one that just ate the sandwich when we were discussing what was best for the group.
No, I was talking about if they
You
gave us
can
the
go.
silver.
Right.
I was talking.
Okay. I got you.
So you want
Yeah,
you
I was like, did we just get like we got like evil loot on accident? Like I was like, oh
yeah,
shit.
so do you want
And
to
I showed it
go
to the guards.
yeah.
And I showed it
Do you want to go meet like you want to like enter the hall of the priest?
Somebody watch this
Yeah.
for me while I go return this thing.
Yeah. So
Watch this.
How the hell? Who's gonna
I'm not
hold
going
this?
to call it. It's a slaver.
What?
there is a blue robed man, and there's like a circular zone, and there's a big. As you come inside, it's like a large phallic tower. You know, this is the the male deity, as it were. And you find yourself at the Shrine of Oosh. There's a round pink stone tower topped with a blue glass dome and ribbed with lapis lazuli encrusted bands. There's a huge glass sphere of pure water at its center. There are cotton hammocks and an insert hearth for the denizens. A handful of priests and thaumaturges, all men, as is usual here, sort of, move about, sort of rearrange themselves, and the head one looks at you expectantly when you produce the platter. They look at it and say, "By what providence does this come to us?" And they look at you very expectantly.
We happened across a cistern that provided us shelter and water and very possibly saved our lives, and we found this in there. And since the god was clearly looking out for us, we want to humbly return this to
Clearly, you
your
have been
care.
blessed by Oosh, and you are very pious to return it to us. Please, could you tell us precisely where this cistern is you speak of?
I'll give him the lay of the land best I can, sure.
All right, so you hand over information about where it is. They nod, and they say, "This is a good turn you have done for us. Tell me, is there anything in particular we could help you with?"
Food.
I know that times are lean, but we could do with some food, or perhaps, if that is too much to ask.
He says, "Not at all." He claps his hands and he says, "Let it not be said that we would deny hospitality to one who has returned a relic." And he turns to his surprised acolytes and he says, "Come, bring a fine meal." And they do. And after some commotion, sorry, you were saying something?
No, sorry.
So they so they have they bring you a meal. It is set on like a long bench that they bring out, and you all consume together. It is a meal of minced beans, dried crushed dates, and red wheat loaves. And not only do you eat, but you feast. Everyone ticks up to 2 in all of the nutrition categories.
Fuck yeah,
Hey.
bud. That's way better. I don't think 20 value could have bought this.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, and of course, I'm assuming you guys top up on full water when you guys are at the
I mean, if they're
oasis.
pouring the carafes.
Yeah, they're bringing out the water, so yeah, it's a great time. And so they look around you and they say, "So tell us, who is your leader?"
It's Saita, the lawbringer.
Yeah, and the head priest looks over and he says, "Ah, the lawgiver. So you have title."
So it has been given.
"Ah, well spoken." And they kind of look at Saita and they say, "So, Saita, tell us, what do you plan to do here in our lands? You must know they have been given over to turbulence, and law is scarce. Have you come to bring order to chaos?"
That is the hope.
And they say, "Well, then I wish you well. I shall let it be known among the merchants that you are a friend of Oosh, and they might, knock a little something off if you were looking for," they gesticulate non-judgmentally, "an upgrade to your equipment."
I mean, that sounds pretty good. What about, by chance, got any, like, scraps around here to eat on?
And he says, "Well," he says, "I'm afraid that this is perhaps the hospitality I can offer at the moment."
That's fair. That's where, you know what they say. You know what my mama used to say? It's always best to ask than
Your
to
mother's
leave
a
a
wise
question
woman.
unturned.
Indeed.
She was. She was.
Yes. So, you guys feast, and the Seobaried salaryman is so surprised. Do you keep him tied up during this?
Yes.
The high priest asks, "If I may, what's the deal with him?"
he's being punished.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose you don't earn the title of lawgiver without being firm. He nods.
Well, I'm
And
quite firm.
yeah, nobody else questions it. And with that, you guys have been feasted at the shrine of Oosh, and you find yourselves, you know, enjoying your time. You do note as you exit the shrine afterwards, there is a woman on the rampart who looks down at you dramatically, and then sort of retires to within the palace grounds. But I'm sure that was nothing. The prisoner eagerly hops up to Bula or to Saita and says, "Shall I show you to my stores?"
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go to your wait. We're still trying to find somewhere to eat. I need to hawk this.
We just ate.
You just ate. Remember, you feasted. Sorry, did you miss that?
No, I did miss that. I was
Oh,
like,
so
I'm
when
so
you asked for
confused.
scraps, I was kind of like, huh? Like, no, they feasted
Yeah.
you. You were up to 2 on everything in full water.
Oh, okay, sweet.
No, they
Okay.
brought you out literally like a feast of like minced beans, dried crushed dates,
Okay, cool,
and
cool,
red
cool,
wheat
cool, cool, cool.
buns. Yeah.
That's way not scraps. That is way nicer than I expected.
You're totally like all of your negative statuses are over. Your scurvy is cured.
Yes.
Everything's fine.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you guys want to go to the teardrop?
Yes.
Okay.
I give the leash though back to Doraka because I want to make sure that.
She sighs heavily, but she takes it.
Well, I mean, I could hold the leash. I just don't. I wasn't
No.
sure if you don't. I thought you enjoyed it.
You'll treat it too nicely.
It is scream. I do have a tendency to act a little nicer.
And kind of makes puppy dog eyes and says, "Please, I'll be obedient."
No, it's just sad.
Well, what do you expect? When you break them, it's like breaking a horse.
I've never broken anybody's spirit before.
Oh, it gets easier. Okay, I'll hold the rope for you. Come on.
He very eagerly accepts it. So he guides you to his place, and as he gets closer and closer, he starts to look like very furtively around.
I kind of tug on the rope a little bit, and I said, "You wouldn't be a bad boy, would you?"
Is it?
Am I? Go
It
ahead,
says,
sorry.
no, but it occurs to me that we're going to arrive in a strange way. They're expecting me. I don't know how they might act if they see the current situation.
Well, I'm sure you'll figure that out, won't you?
That's a dumb plan.
And he's like, "Oh, I suppose." And so the you are up in the teardrop, right? The town gets denser up here. And you find yourself kind of like in like one of these alleys, right? In like a thick little something. And there is a like an abode here, and there's an abode here. And then there is sort of like outer town wall, and this alley doesn't like abut. So you guys come down the street, right? People are kind of watching you. You are walking someone on a leash.
Don't worry, he likes it.
Give me an aura society.
Sure.
2d10.
9 to 7.
I doubt that's gonna do it.
Yeah, they don't seem too convinced, but no one like is willing to like.
I pull the rope and I say, "Show me like it."
And he smiles. He says,
Ah,
"Oh, it's my favorite." And they kind of like feel even more weirded out, and they're like, "Oh," and they leave. Um, so,
the rock is just laughing.
you guys, you're pulling up here, and there is this place, like high up against the wall, like a back alley, and there is a like a big pot here, really, not a fucking barrel. And some people are hanging around the alley, right? So you see, right? Two bulky hoss women are backing up one slender male who kind of comes around the corner and says, "Well, well, well, what brings you to my part of town?" And you note that the women have stone clubs. The man has a bronze thrust dagger. And did I actually put you on the map? Yeah, I did. Okay. Boom. So, arrange
Can I
yourselves
tell
how
him-
you would like to meet them. But the guy has explained that, this hatch down the alleyway is the way into the storage where his salt is.
Sure. Is the bronze thrust dagger that I see? Because I have I think it's because I have the metalwork at 2.
Hmm?
Can I tell if it was made in the
The heretical way?
heretical way?
No, it's legitimate. You can tell it's not arsenical
Son of a
bronze.
bitch.
Yeah. So, and arrange yourselves however you like, but I think Saito was holding the leash.
Yep.
Yes.
Right, so he's just out front, and feel free to arrange yourselves. I'm going to assume Iboji and Bolade go far to the corners, and Not Telly is a little ways back to run away, and Daraka be where you'd like to be.
I'd like to be near our spear wielder, because I would like somebody who can keep a spear wielder at a spear wielding distance away from me.
Yeah, by all means. Well, I mean, they would have to clash contact, or Saito would have to pass if they come within 1 square of her. So if you stay here, and it's arranged like this, there's no path to you.
Yep.
Well, I also want to be able to attack, though.
You can. You'll just step forward when the time comes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Hit me in the
so
face
the
with
guy
a-
kind of
with a
looks you up
spear
and down,
once.
Saita, and says, "So,
Are we gonna have problems here?
that depends." And he points and he says, "What's Nikos got himself into?"
Oh, he's got himself tied up at the moment.
"I can tell."
What
He's
what is it
discovered
to
a new
you?
life's passion.
He says, "Well, you seem to be wandering the way of my place of business, and considering he's my customer, I'm just wondering what he might have told you."
Oh, he's a customer of yours. That's actually very convenient. That's very convenient. And
Can we slit his throat now?
I tug on the rope again,
Hmm.
and I say, "Well, my pet here said that you got something of his."
And he kind of like cocks a brow and says, "You think you can just walk around the streets openly like this?"
Are you gonna stop me? I am the lawmaker.
And they're like, "Oh, what?" And they kind of like look at each other, and and someone says, This woman says, "Ha! this Ushinari woman is mad, but I like her. I like her style. He's like, I don't pay you to encourage people. All right, I pay you to intimidate them. Remember that. He turns back around and he's like, all right, let's cut the shit here. All right, you've got my client by the balls. I don't really care, but I have a professional reputation to uphold. If I surrender his store under his adverse conditions, who's gonna store their stuff with me? You have to think about it from my perspective. This
Trying
is
to make a
happening in the
withdrawal.
street. Yeah.
Hopefully.
He's got a new lifestyle.
He's turning a new intrigue of his. I don't know. Look, it doesn't fucking matter to you. The point is he's pulling shit out, and you can't do nothing about it.
He says, well, I could do nothing about it. That is to say, not open the storehouse when it's clear he's a prisoner.
Oh no, he's just a really good boy. Tell him.
And Nikos looks and he says, I know this looks really strange, but, you know, things were really rough with the salary men. You know, honestly, we barely had, like, a berry between us, and we were probably going to starve to death out there. We hadn't taken a prisoner in a long time, and honestly, that L-tail behind us is dead weight. He jerks his thumb at Not Telly. He says he's even taken, so, yeah, sucks, but, you know, I mean, Sight is pretty good to me. I mean, I just got to have a feast at the Hall of Oosh. They kind of, like, flabbergasted. Like, there's no way they just walked you into the Hall of Oosh like that.
Why wouldn't I? Do you want to be next?
He blinks and says, like, whoa, 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 whoa.
If you're a real good boy, we could get you one. I'll even give you 10 extra feet.
And he says, hey, this is our good boy. Yeah, he pays us to hit things. the bulky hoss women get defensive. And
That's fair.
he's
I want to make sure he has his opportunities. He seems to be quite curious. Maybe you need to get a rope and keep him under control.
And they're like, I mean, that is an idea. And he says, hey. Listen. And he says, he kind of looks around, right? Mm-hmm. And he says, you know, the street is no place to be conducting such business. I think that we could negotiate terms in my abode. Why don't you join me in there? And you can tell me all about your new lifestyle. And he gesticulates to this abode in here.
Sounds good.
There's
By
a
the
custom
way,
of our people to never go to a second location.
By the way, Oboji does indicate to you, Saita, like stealthily, that there is a slender woman on the roof here with a bow. She looks like she's probably part of the gang and like crouched out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's the situation.
It doesn't seem very like. Why do we need to go into your little hidey hole to
and he's like,
have a conversation?
He's like, we're in the middle of the street and everyone's like watching and listening. And I mean, this is confidential business.
Tell you what, I feel like you need to earn my trust before I go into some little hidey hole rock with you.
Earn your trust? You're trying to do business with me, with my client on a leash.
No, I'm trying to.
How about we untie him, let him walk over to you?
And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, that would be a pretty good display of trust.
And then if he wants to walk back over here and get tied back up again.
Yeah. Duraka, you know that you think that you do need one more, based on your insight, one more big breaking before he's fully on board.
I thought I did that with the...
You got him almost there. So, and, yeah, so he's sort of like, no, come to my second location. You're kind of like, no, do it in the street. If someone wants to give me an aura society to try and push this along, you could.
If he wants to stay over there and keep struggling to find slaves and almost starving in the desert,
he's like, it's not slavery.
He can stay over there. Okay, the whatever he calls it. If he wants to continue on this hard ass life that almost got him killed,
Mhm.
he can stay over there with you guys. But
All
if he
right.
wants to come back and hang out with the people that got him a feast at a temple
Yeah.
and get back in his little setup,
Important
then he
question.
can do that.
Bula, how big? How you have an aura 4, right? Vulture? Have we lost him?
Sorry, say again?
You have an
No,
aura 4, correct?
yes, I do.
All right.
Oh, you should be the face. I
Uh,
guess I don't know how sight
yeah.
works.
So he kind of looks back at the three of you, and do you untie him?
Sorry, I
I'm
was
gonna
just
look to Saita.
Oh no, I'm not
I was
untying
I
him.
was only going.
I don't like to release my pets like that, and I'm sure he's still not 100% housebroken, so I don't want him to get himself into trouble.
Well,
It's
that
better.
is. I guess I wish I wouldn't have said anything, but I thought I had him cowed already. So
Well,
I just
they.
think it's safer for you.
All right. So
Okay.
guy the guy says, "Well, if you want access to the storage, you're gonna have to come into the alley anyway. So why don't we just have the conversation there?" He
The
kind of
alley sounds a lot better than your,
his abode is directly abutting, but
well, there's a difference between a four wall and
yeah. So, do you guys head down the alleyway?
yes.
All right. So,
I tell Iboji to keep an eye out on that archer, and if they do anything, even the slightest bit funny, knock her fucking teeth out of her face and right off
yeah,
this.
she's got her sling ready. They, yeah. So he more or less says that if it would look too sus if Nikos left tied up. So he wants him to leave not tied up, separate from you, so that it looks like he bought his freedom using his storage, and then that'll be okay. He says he doesn't care what happens after.
all right.
Okay, well. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go to untie him.
Mm-hmm.
But as I go to untie him, I tell him, I just want to remind you one thing. If you thought this leash was bad, if you turn on us, you will not get a second chance to even be graced on the end of this rope.
And he's like, understood. So, with him untied, they do bring out slabs of salt.
I don't know if I untie him completely. I keep his little harness on, but I tuck the rest of the rope in his pocket or something.
All right.
I want him to know that he will forever wear the ropes of his bondage.
So, they pull out 4 slabs of salt. The value is 16 altogether. They kind of show you the goods and then say, all right, you walk out with the goods. He walks out the other way, not on your leash. And whatever happens afterwards isn't my problem. Sound good?
Sounds good.
He kind of looks at you and he says, where should I meet you afterwards?
Meet us at the front of the teardrop.
And he says, okay. And
If you do not show up, just leaves it at that. It just gives a look.
all right. Roll me a d6 at or under your aura.
I don't think I've ever seen an NPC
Also,
become a sub.
also, Daraka, give me a d6 at or under your aura.
That's going to be difficult. Nope. Every time you want me to roll low, I fucking max it out.
So, the exchange gets made. You guys get the salt. Nikos goes one way. You go the other. There's only one way out of the district that you're aware of. So, you come back around to the exit, and he's there. Nikos is there. However, a situation has evolved. He is presently being like surrounded by some other group, and it looks pretty serious.
Oh god.
And he looks over to you and he says, "Help, Saita! I mean, lawgiver!" And he's kind of like trying to get you involved. He's surrounded by some tough-looking thugs.
I give a glance and I say, "What did you do now?"
And they kind of look over at you. It's a man, a woman, and an L-tail. And the woman says, "Nikos owes us 2 slabs of salt." He's like, I told him, I'm all out. I just paid for my freedom. And they're like, bullshit. And they kind of shove him.
It
Oh,
is true.
unfortunately, he's telling the truth, yeah.
And they're like, well, he still owes it to us.
That's
has it?
unfortunate, isn't it? Listen, he doesn't have much actual freedom, and I hate to say this, but I don't like when other people play with my toys, so I'm gonna ask you to back up,
And they're like,
or we're gonna have some problems.
the woman says, this is crazy, Shinari. Bitch thinks she can just walk around with people on leashes and, rough people up? Listen. And he kind of like squares out, and they got like their... So like, this lady has her dukes up, right? This L-tail has a stone long spear, like the one with reach, right?
I pull out my
There's
copper
only
spear.
2 of them. Is that correct?
And there's a third. There's a third.
Okay.
And this one has a copper thrust sword, and they all kind of like fan out a little, and they're like,
Is the copper legit?
yeah, I mean, there's no, it's not alloyed. It can't be illegitimate.
Okay.
Well, I mean, kind
You
of.
can
Anyways,
Sure. We can shed blood, or you can accept half of the payment and call it good.
the woman looks at the pit and says, "So you'll give us 1 slab?"
We'll give you 1 slab. Nobody has to be injured,
She looks around and says,
and you're outnumbered.
she looks at that fact. She looks at you. And the stone long spear guy kind of like hovers the spear tip over Nikos, who cowers. And the pugilist says, fine. And Nikos, having deeply embarrassed himself, the pugilist says, crawl back to them and bring us the salt. And he, in fact, crawls back and takes the salt and crawls it back to them. They spit on him and leave. And Nikos comes up and he's like so happy. He's like, you saved me.
Yeah, well, I was expecting to do bloodshed. I'm not gonna lie, Rocco is a lot nicer than me.
I'm full of good food. I'm having a lovely day. I don't want to bleed again.
Yeah, it's not like I can fix you.
Not Telly's like, wow, this really turned out well, huh?
I'm not gonna lie, that sword would have been nice though to purge from their body.
And Iboji says, I'm sure we can find other places to get one.
I'm sure there'll be no shortage in the world as it is now.
That's fair.
And Nico says, that's
Yeah,
right.
hell, we got a juice box on a string.
And Nico says,
Speaking of unhelpful, I reach over and I grab the rope again and put it back on the leash. But I look over at Not Telling and I say, So, when are you gonna start stepping up?
and say, "Hey, I pointed the way to the city." And aside from that, well, if you want any stonework done, or they kind of scratch their head and say, "Oh, I heard a rumor at work that might be relevant. You like swords, right?"
That's what we just said.
Um, I
Wait, do we
heard that
like
there's a
swords? Is there
shipment.
someone here that can use swords?
I heard there's a shipment of cheap swords headed to Oluluco. It's south of Tartaros and the right of Jami.
I don't know if we
Is this a
want.
diversion, or should we
He shrugs and
just keep?
says, "I just heard there's a shipment going there."
No, that's fair. I'm just asking. The information is good. I'm just asking. Is this a diversion? Are we becoming? Are we? I'm not. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying this feels like a divergence from the plan, which is fine. But then maybe we should change the plan.
No, I was just wondering if there was one locally. We don't need to do
They say,
anything
"Oh well,
more.
there's a smith and such."
I was just hoping that he'd have a little bit more for us. Are you good friends with anyone that you can like give us any help? I mean,
Uh, they scratch their head and say, "I haven't really been to Tamaka in a long time."
But before we do much else, how about we sell the bracelet and see if we can pick up some like hardtack or rations that will travel.
Yeah, and here's a question for you: Who do you have conduct the business?
Maybe
I would hope
Aura
it.
4?
Yeah, I say I hope it Ebola.
What's your mercantile aura for?
Mercantile.
Bola? Uh,
Mercantile.
Bola Trip? You there?
Yo, yes, I do not have mercantile. Sorry, I was looking up.
All right. So what's your aura?
My aura is 4, so it'd
All right.
be what, a 3?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, some stuff is automatically understood by having the mercantile skill, which you
Mhm.
lack. I will say, Iboji has mercantile 1,
Oh, well, there we go.
so she, recommends like a way to find good places to pawn, and
Don't forget we have the discount too for the church.
yeah. So her recommend is you come back to this island and you use the this hill and use the discount to liquidate your goods at an advantageous price.
Baboosh.
All right. Um,
We'll vertically integrate synergistic strategies.
Bula, you're gonna roll Aura Mercantile, and she is going to assist you, so you'll get 1 extra D10.
Okay. So 3d10, yeah.
Yep. Any of
I
those a success?
don't know, because it'd be a 3 because of the -1.
Out of friendship to the people at the temple, they'll throw in like 1 extra value atop the whole deal.
Yeah.
So, what are you liquidating? And is there anything that you
Bracelet?
don't? Is there anything you don't know the price of?
Oh. I have a corded slingshot if we don't need it. I have no ammo for it.
That shit is gonna be worthless.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait. Did I just lie to you?
I don't know.
It's worth 2.5.
Boom.
They'll round you up to
That's
3.
that's a weekend of food. That's a holiday weekend of food.
Well, it's 3.
Yeah, it's 3 days of rations, right?
Yep. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, the food is bought. Or not the food is bought, but so you guys sell
Our
the
assets are liquidated.
you sell the bracelet and the thing. Anything
Slingshot.
else?
Um,
Okay. While you are shopping, um, you vaguely hear news of a merchant in town who's in a really bad way, who might need assistance of some sort.
See what he wants, I guess.
Do you head over to the house of Yaru?
sure.
Badoop.
Yeah.
Ba-doop.
I gotta let this cat out. He wants to real quick.
So, vines ascend knotwood trellises, and black cloth hangs from the windows. The sounds and signs of mourning pour into the street. The merchant Yaru lives here, and he clearly has a problem. His 2 wives and a louse come to see what you want. And they ask, please, kind strangers, they look over you and, taking you for the rough and tumble sort, said, have you come to offer assistance to us in our time of need?
Saita.
I mean, I don't know what the time of need is, but sure.
They invite you in. And Yaru is like inconsolably like rubbing his temples. And he says, oh, I should have gone with them. And they say it wouldn't have done any difference. Everything that's happened, damn it all. Surely there was some way. Oh, and we were to be so close to nobility. My dear son. He's sort of inconsolable. But his spouses say, hey, there's someone here to see you. He looks up and says, tell me. And he looks at you. And he looks over you and he says, you must be Ushinari warriors. Fresh from battle.
You'd be correct.
His eyes light up. Please. I have a great opportunity for you. My son and his dowry have fallen into the hands of my rival. She has kidnapped him and keeps him in her house.
She has kidnapped him and keeps him. Does she keep him well in her house?
Well, it's the part of the point is that it's the humiliation of the dowry, one of the 3 insufferable humiliations, and you do know that
I mean, I'm just wondering if he wants to escape or if I'm bringing him back to kicking and screaming. I just
no,
want to
it's
make
just,
sure.
no. He wanted to get married to his wife. No,
Oh.
this humiliation of the dowry is horrible, and he's been made to be a servant in her home, and we have all been horribly humiliated. My house cannot stand until this humiliation is corrected. Please. I have many contacts and much knowledge. I can assist you in many ways.
All right.
And he kind of clears his throat and says, I can't help but notice that you're not very... You're dressed in the fashion of the road, he says, coughing at Daraka. And perhaps you could use new weapons, as I do not see any bronze between you.
Oh, I have a bronze thrust dagger.
Just kidding. You have some bronze between you. Wait, isn't it copper?
Sorry, you're correct. Yes, it is copper one.
You have
I
no
wouldn't have
bronze
said
between
anything.
you.
Sorry. Yeah.
I could change that. You could walk out of this house with fine garments and weapons. I need my son back.
Well, I think that we can make an agreement to that. But I think my friend here would have to inspect and make sure it's right. You're good with that,
Does
right?
Does the lady's house have guards?
And he kind of rubs his chin and he says, what do you know about Curlhorn? And not Tell, he says, oh, Curlhorn, yes. I hear that the new person in charge is a woman who's used to be a mercenary. And her house, yeah, it's the one at the top of the hill, isn't it? Yes, just the same. Well, she's in charge of the village, so I guess the question really is, how many of them would come to assist her family? She did recently take power from the man who was in charge. Some people are still on his side, and he has done much to embitter the people against her. Besides that, her household is perhaps the most, shall we say, capable in battle. So it's not like the average peasant of the town is going to do much against you, he gesticulates, particularly to Bolade and Daraka, who are quite large. I can look after your L-tails if they require a safe place to engage in scholarly pursuits. He gesticulates to Telly and Bula.
Well, since you're keeping members of our party, perhaps you'd trust us with the spoils of our victory early so that we could better handle this mercenary and her family.
He looks you over and he says, very well, but given the arrangements I've had to make, I can't afford to be had.
We have our,
I will give you one piece of.
you have our friends.
I
Why
can give
would
you. I can give you one piece of armor and one piece of weapon in advance. What do you desire?
I don't want to stay here.
Oh, forgive me. I assumed that you were the scholarly type. Gesticulate.
I mean-
Are you a warrior? Not Telly says, I would like to stay here. I would like to stay here while violence happens somewhere else.
Less a worry, but more of a one to patch them up when things go awry.
We'd be leaving 2 back with you.
Yeah.
So, and Nikos is like, I'd like to stay behind. I mean, unless that's not where you want me.
Obviously,
You
you're
are
not.
one of the 2 I was expecting to have left behind.
Oh. He looks a little distant.
Well, who's gonna rub my feet?
And Nico says, oh, well, obviously you need me. And so the survivors, so basically, he's offering you one piece of armor and one weapon. What do you want?
Oh, we still get 1 of each, even if we only leave 1 person behind?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not doing it like a hostage thing or anything. He's just
Gotcha.
like, yeah, sure. Do you want a sword? Do you want a bow? Do you want a dagger? Do you want a club? A spear? You know.
Well, I mean, nobody else is speaking up, I guess, so I'll take a sword and some armor, sure.
Yeah, I don't have a need for it.
All
So,
right.
I assume that you are going to be the frontliner, so it just
So
makes sense.
Well, again,
He says, do you prefer a sword that, and then he kind of makes like a thrusting motion, or that, and he makes like a chopping motion?
These are good questions.
chopping motion.
All right. So he pulls a bronze curve blade from his chest.
Oh my. Excuse me, what? Like
Yeah.
Kali Ma?
no, sorry. He opens like a chest and like, yeah, it's
Oh,
in there. There's a thing.
God, okay.
So it's a slashing weapon with a quality +2 and guard 2.
Oh God, that's a way different visual.
Yeah, and then he and so he says, and do you prefer and he's like, I have, he kind of thinks about, he says, fuck it, you look strong, and he pulls out bronze plate lamellar,
Damn.
which is like a coat with these like bronze plates sewn into it. And he says, don't go pawning those. And yeah, so he's entrusted you
What's the craftsmanship quality on them?
quite high.
Ooh, I would never pawn these. These are fantastically made.
Yeah, and which is armor dice 3, quality 5. Okay, so you have received a sword and armor, and Not Telly is going to stay behind while you guys go do a quest. And it is late in the day, and he says, given what you have offered me, allow me to offer you my hospitality. Would you like to spend the night here?
Be delightful, I think.
He says, but I
Boss.
must ask, once you've stayed, you must fly so swiftly as you can.
Indeed, we shall rise early and get on the road, or get to it, I suppose.
All right. So, and also, important note, he asks if you would like dinner before you go.
That would be great.
I mean, that would be expected. Could you at least send us off with some rations, though, before you leave?
And he says, "Ah, yes, rations." And so
Oh,
you
thank
have a meal of fiber, protein, and starch. So everybody ticks up one
All
more
maxed
time to
out.
3. And in addition,
Ooh.
he offers you 8 salted crackers.
Ooh. That's great. That's actually great. Because grains matter the most, I'd say.
Because it would keep you from literally dying. Yeah. So he gives
Yeah.
you 8 salted crackers, and you guys are all full up to 3 when you wake up the next morning. Does anybody? Is there anything that anybody is sure that they want to like obtain? You have obtained like when you liquidated, you got
Oh,
some like
yes.
copper and silver pieces. Like, do you want to buy anything on town? Like, is there a piece of gear you feel like you're missing? Helmets, shields, anything in particular? Oh, also Saito. Does Saito look for like alchemical reagent kind of stuff?
I do hope to find something if that's possible.
Give me a sense mercantile.
Sense merc.
There are so many fireworks.
Eh, 4 and 3. So only one success, if I assume right.
Mm-hmm. So, you find valued, undervalued. You feel value 3. There are so for value 3 apiece. There are 2 units of sulfur. You think you could combine that shit with niter in an appropriate vessel for a smoky explosion that would hurt people right by its detonation.
Oh Lord, she got grenades now.
That's what I
Well, I
heard.
mean, soon. She has the recipe for grenades and the means to buy the ingredients.
Yeah, so do you want to drop 6 on getting both of them?
Yep.
All right. Who's counting that money, by the way? Somebody do that. We'll figure it out. So, you have the money for it, though. Nobody else has any desires before you set out, correct?
What's the total monies we had before the 6?
You would have gained...
We had that band. I think we got what, 1 extra card?
9,
We got 3 for
10,
the sling.
13V.
Okay.
13 minus 6, so we have
17. Or
Five.
sorry, 7. 7.
7 would be the more correct answer, yes.
All right, so here's the situation as you see it. It is the morning of Monday, week 1. You are reliably informed because, like, obviously the guy who's like hiring you to save his son wants you to get there and back. That you need to proceed 7 spans. which you
Jesus
usually get
tits, he
to,
didn't tell us it was in another state.
one way and then the other.
And he only gave us 8 crackers. What a dick.
Well, you know, I might assume that you're gonna find some food there.
Yeah.
So
What a fucking dick. And he tells us not to pawn this stuff. If I get hungry enough, I'm
I'm
sorry.
not pawning this shit, fuck you!
If we get hungry enough.
So
Yeah, hungry enough, I'll murder motherfuckers.
you do
with this
know
shit.
that there is an Ulano nomad caravan in town, and they're headed that way. They do
Boom.
offer ride services, 1 value per person.
Oh.
Or maybe they'd let us ride for free if we did protection.
They are pretty much all like warriors born in the saddle, so they don't really feel like you're gonna add a lot to the
Okay,
horse
we'll have fun by
archery.
yourself. Would it get us there faster?
Yeah, they will get you there. They will get you there on the dawn of the third day.
Well, time is money, fast is funny, and I want to be laughing all the way to the bank.
Sounds
So I
good to
say we
me.
pay these mother bitches for a ride.
All right, so that's a, and you guys are trying to bring.
Just the 5 of us.
We
Five.
ain't bringing Econ nowhere anymore. He's
No.
fucking left the
Yeah.
group. Not
He's
Telly
dead
is
to
staying
us.
home.
We have 2 party funds left.
And you are bringing Nikos, correct?
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
god damn it. We have
Oh.
1.
But he can ride bitch seat. It's fine.
We still gonna have to fucking pay 1 for him. Hope you
You're
like
all
having
riding
your
bitch
little bitch around.
seat. All right, so V1 remaining. All right, so with that, 2 days pass.
Mhm.
It is the morning of Wednesday. Nothing of note occurs until you arrive on the outskirts of Curlhorn. Now, let me just show you how it goes, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You have found steppe. This green shit is grass. Grass for as far as the eye can see. And as you go closer, you find people actually attempting to farm.
Uh-oh. Does Duder want to leave? Want to leave the party and settle down here?
He does not express such a desire.
Okay.
So, you guys arrive. I'm just cleaning up shit that isn't supposed to be on this map. So, important note. Important note. Week 1, Wednesday, you witness a group in the distance headed south. Nico says they're salarymen, possibly returning with 2B convicts. And how do I reset you? Okay, so, boop.
Beep.
The party arrives. Shit. Hold on. That's not the right pop of the party. The party arrives, right? And the Ulana nomads have deposited you and are parked outside. Fairly large group. There are some young, unblooming olive orchards, and you know that there's a smithy out to the northeast, built sort of away from town. There's a huntsman's lodge, and otherwise, it's like a town built on a hill. You know what I mean? And there's like a slight sort of like garden wall between various buildings, but there's these outer rims. You come up here to town like this, and this is the main shit, and you can already tell that the head woman, Yetta, lives in this big triangle. Not big triangle, big left angle. So, You guys have been dropped off by your ride, and you're here. What are you doing? Oh, you don't have vision. Can you see shit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What does the party do as you gaze out upon the scenario?
Well,
Should we get the lay of the land?
That's probably the best idea, yeah.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you can walk about town as you will. People have noticed it's a small place. You can see, right? I'm not.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There are villagers milling about, more or less. There are fields that most people are working in, but people busy themselves around town as well. And, a man pokes his head out of his house and says, "Are you with those Ulano nomads?"
We were.
And he says, "Lovely. I can't help but wonder, do they have any cattle they're trying to sell? We're trying to grow the herd. Always more grass than we can eat." Ho, ho, ho.
I
Did we?
I
Did we
don't
see
think
any
we
cow?
would know that. Would we?
I mean, did we see any cows in the caravan?
Yeah, I mean, they have cattle with them.
I mean,
They have cattle with them. I don't know if it is for sale.
Oh, well, we'll have to see. He kind of rubs his chin and he says, "Oh, by the way, my name is John. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please. But I am so inhospitable. Come, enjoy my home and my hospitality." He gesticulates.
well,
And
That feels a little too easy.
I have a question. Are you walking Nikos?
Yes.
All right. He stops when we come in. He stops a moment. He says, "My, isn't that one of those salarymen?"
He's a good boy.
Well, I suppose. He shrugs. And he says, "I think that other people in town will take it amiss that you're just walking someone around on a rope like that, but, I know this guy is coming. Anyway, what brings you to my town? I must confess, I used to be a bit of a merchant back in Care, and I'm hoping to, find some good deals and reconstitute myself. And seeing a group of Ushanari wandering out of the west, you happen to have anything of, anything you're looking to trade?"
Not currently.
yeah, nothing. We don't have anything really to trade at the moment.
Ah, well, sure you have information.
What kind of information?
Well, I've heard there were 2 large camps outside Tamaka. Have they been let inside, perhaps? I'm
No.
assuming you came from Tamaka. And
They-
have any more joined them?
There's 3, wasn't there?
Yeah, a third had
Well-
just arrived in week 1. At the beginning of week 1, a third one arrived.
I believe we gave you a little bit of information. What are you giving us in trade?
And he says, "Oh," he rubs his chin and says, "What brings you to my town? Perhaps if I know what brings you here, I'll know what interests you."
We're here to bring someone back home that's not supposed to be here.
Oh. He rubs his chin and says, "Then it's good that you found me. Yes, I was quite fond of Venar and how he ran the town. I take it. I take what you mean to do." He rolls his shoulders and he says, "I could give you a good impression of where you're going." He waggles his brow.
That would be helpful, I think. But, I mean, anybody in town would probably give us directions without asking anything in return.
And he said, "I'm not talking about directions. I'm talking about a floor plan."
Oh,
A
With the
floor
Fancy.
plan?
Yeah, do you
lawbringer.
work there?
He says, "I've been around."
All right, well, give us the floor plan.
All right, so, he kind of like sketches you a quick map in the dirt, and you see like back here, there's like the hillside that goes down, like the little like stone fence, right? But there's like the street access. The street access is this front door here. There's like the main kind of like loungy area. Go to the tree. This is the main storing shit room. This is like the master bedroom, right? In the stone floored portion. Down here is like the living room. And then there's like the servant chambers, where he suspects the guest is in one of the servant chambers. And then there's the kitchen. And then below the kitchen is the old house, the like ruin the house is built over, where they store stuff. But he also knows that there's this extensive, like ruinage down here, for lack of a better way of putting it. He says you kind of have to squeeze to get in. And he says that if someone was, I don't know, holding on to something valuable in the house, it might be a logical place to put it. And there's also a cliffside door, although it's barred and locked.
Does he mention that for? He mentioned that for potential stealthy entrance. Is that?
Yeah, well, basically, like
Okay.
it's the like if you look at this map, right? It's down here. So there's an olive orchard, and like just the downside of town, right?
Oh,
And
I
you could.
gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
Mhm. So like, the three ways to enter the house you could think of it are like the front, the courtyard if you like scramble all the way up the hill, or the lower side entrance. So, kind of licks his lips and says, "Say, what are you planning to? Well, don't let me intrude, but were you thinking of a more sneaky kind of retrieval, or a more he makes a stabbing motion kind of retrieval?"
I believe that is for us. Well, I believe that's
I
just
think the
something that
question
we
is, do
need
you
to
have
take
a
care of.
preference?
He says, "I might have a preference."
But not we. That's something that we need to take care of with whoever we're doing our business with.
Okay, but what would your preference be?
He looks at Saita, and he looks at Daraka, and he says, "Well, I really like the town under Venor's leadership. Yet I think she owns the place just because she used to be some hotshot mercenary. You ask me? I think the town could do with a return to more watery leadership. These prairie towns tend to dry up after a few seasons without a steady hand. And she's more interested in accumulating wealth and honors than the hard work of governing. Or I should say, the soft, wet work of governing."
And what would it be worth to you to have that returned?
He looks his lip. He looks you over. He says, "I will give you 1 cow."
That is
Well,
pretty good.
as the boss says, we need to take care of business with our person, but if we can see a way to maybe get a pet cow.
How will we know
I'm
when
kind
to
of jealous
retrieve
that I
it?
gave up the thing to walk around.
And he says, "After the lamentable deed occurs, you will come declaring you're interested in buying a cow. And then I'll sell you a cow, but I'll be very tight-fisted about what you paid for it. Of course, you will already have paid for it." He winks.
That
"But it will not look like I am giving you a payoff of that variety, so to speak."
is wise.
Makes sense to me.
Indeed. By the way, we're 5 minutes over. I don't know how faded everyone is.
I don't want to, I mean, I don't have to like end it right now,
Mm-hmm.
but this is when Cinderella starts thinking about leaving the ball.
No, I got you.
Yeah, same. I'm tired.
Oh, Pat and
The
Hungry's clone were here.
pumpkin. The pumpkin is happening.
Mhm. But I mean, we don't have to shut it down right now.
No, it's all good. I mean, really, I guess the best question would be, what is your plan right now, or like, what would you immediately do to scout? And also, think about how you look, because Daraka, right, is wearing like proper armor. You're walking around with someone on a leash.
Yeah.
Boji has
Yeah,
like decent
yeah.
clothes.
We'll tuck it
Bo-
in for him.
Bolade looks like a peasant with an axe. Oh, who, by the way, actually, hold on. 2 days
What?
pass. Everyone is back as everyone who was down blood has regenerated that blood.
Oh, and we're all down to one on our Fujis.
Unless you were already eating the crackers, yes.
Yeah, no, we're not using crackers yet. Even though we want to, and we've thought about it, we're like, no.
But there's wells here, so you can fill up as well and be full on water, which is important because water kills you the fastest. So,
It does.
Yeah.
So
You hear that, Chet?
hydrate. So
Or dihydrate.
Mm-hmm.
what's the play? She's got a fancy house. You think she has so she's a merc with 2 wives, 1 husband, 1 alouse.
Wow.
She's doing pretty good for herself.
1 live-in servant, not the kidnapped guy, and 1 servant, the kidnapped guy. You think the wives and the husband are potential combatants. Plus her, she's an experienced mercenary. So, this is not a pre-wounded group of like dirty, also starving villains. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about 4 combatants. She's a very well experienced. They won't be wearing their armor all the time, but like they'll have their weapons about them. And if they know something's coming, they might be able to armor up or rally people to their cause. Additionally, you're given to understand that she is slightly more popular than the other guy in town. That doesn't necessarily mean anyone's going to come to her defense, but they might.
I mean, I would only take an opportunity on her if we had not if it was shot, I guess.
Can we find the guy? This other guy?
I mean, he literally lives across the hill from her, yeah.
Maybe we go talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, hey, we're here to do this. We understand it might benefit you. Can you get your people together?
Oh.
All they're gonna need to do is stand outside
So,
and be intimidating.
how direct are you with Venar about your intentions?
Ooh.
Do you do this? I mean, like, you don't have to do it right now. You just make the plan. But it's worth noting you are walking in saying, "Hey, I know you lost the mayor election. Let's go kill."
Oh, he lost an election? I thought he was like usurped illegally.
I mean, there wasn't really an election. Like the who's in charge of this town is kind of like who is like most intimidating, stroke like agreed upon. So there is functionally a popularity contest, but you can't really lose it if you're willing to kill people. You know what I mean?
I
Oh,
got
that's a yeah. I
Well,
think
we'd be
he's
fundamentally
fine.
changing him into a tyrant. Yeah.
So do you want to go hit him up?
Nah, no.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Do you have a preference for like uphill, downhill? Do you want to like scout around like the smithy and the olive orchard?
We could go to the smithy and see about getting past the locks and stuff on the lower level.
There we go.
Yeah. There's a woman who runs the forge. She is an average hoss, and
Hell yeah. Average hosses got to stick together.
yeah, and she's a smith.
Yeah.
It seems like she has a weapon mold out. It looks like a sword blade, and she kind of like she stops work as you like get anywhere nearby, and she kind of comes out and greets you.
You know what I'm gonna ask, right?
Uh-huh.
Is
Give
she
me
hot?
give me a sense metalwork.
Oh,
I mean, she's pretty hot, yeah.
Yeah.
that was. I thought you were gonna ask. Damn.
So I have to roll below a 50-50 shot.
Mhm.
And how many dice do I get?
2d10 unless you're willing to take a heat.
I have a thing that helps me be too hot, right?
It helps you not burn to death.
Is that the same as heat, or is that a different?
It is, but lethal heat is the thing that kills you. Normal heat won't
Okay.
kill you.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it, I'll take a heat, I guess. So 3d10. You know what? I have a 50-50 shot and 2 dice. I'm gonna just let it go with that.
Alright. Shoot him.
The 4 does it.
Very good. So, it gleams a little wrong, but not so much that's obvious. In fact, you almost couldn't tell if it weren't for the fact that you know that there's something really off about the smithy. You realize that she has positioned her smithy such that the smoke will always push away from the town. Not only that, but she has more than one forge, and the forge that's like the smelter that's closest to like the north is almost like in an alcove, and it's like chimney like slants away.
Okay.
And you can't help but notice she's got a lot of cloths around, like damp cloths.
Oh, I got this one.
Yeah.
Hello.
Just hello. Can I introduce you to my fine wares? I see you're something of a warrior.
Indeed, also a bit of, more so a bit of a smith, really.
Oh, fellow smith.
Yes.
As it happens, I've been looking for an apprentice.
Have you now? I don't think I'm looking for work at the moment. But I do hear you got a new, because you have the new lady in town, and I hear she's gonna, like, a couple seasons, this place is gonna dry up.
She says,
She doesn't
who
really
says
care
that?
about leading the place. That's just the scuzzlebutt I've been hearing since I got into town lately.
Says, listen, great things are coming to the right of Jami, and personally, I think a strong, dynamic woman who's ready to go stab people is just what we need.
I mean, hard to disagree with that, and she'll pant her dagger, because it does.
And he's like, hey, wait, do you have that guy on a leash?
Yeah, I don't understand why people find. I don't think that's. I don't understand why people think this is so strange.
He's like, are you transporting him like to
But,
face trial, or?
Of
No, he
sorts.
likes it.
And he's like,
He's a good boy.
he
So as
nods
you can
meekly,
see-
and she's like, all right.
We need, I mean, that's great the place is gonna be stable and good, that's good to hear. It was kinda sad, because it looks like a nice little town, so that's good to hear. Maybe I will consider.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
rite of
yeah.
Jami is sort of turned into something of a realm, you know what I mean? Like, the Hall of Jami is probably going to be more like the city of Jami, in the
True.
next 10, 20 years.
That's a good point. I was just wondering if you got anything in the way of, because when we're traveling about, sometimes we find things that somebody locked, and we really need to get in there, you know? So I was wondering if you got anything that can help us out with that.
It's kind of like, rubs her chin, like, I think I'd take your meeting. And He says, I have a number of tools that are firm for pressing into certain sorts of hole. I think you'll find they're good at loosening things up.
Excellent.
She considers you for a moment, as if though sizing up the group. And offers you a small bronze tool for 10 value.
10 value?
It's bronze. I mean, it's arsenical bronze, so it's really not worth as much. But yeah, I mean, bronze is worth quite a bit.
Ay.
What about can you romance her? She says like
I got this. Come on. Look, I think that's a fair price. But I also think maybe you'll take this copper thrust dagger and as a straight up trade.
She looks it over. And she says, why would I do that?
This is you've got a really interesting forge set up here, I've noticed, and well, you see the bronze on my sword shimmers a little differently in the light than the bronze on
Her
yours.
eyes narrow, and she says, you wouldn't be accusing me of anything, would you?
I'm not
Frank?"
accusing you of anything. I'm just saying that maybe somebody with such an interesting setup would accept an interesting trade like this copper thrust dagger. for
8
this bronze.
value.
what?
Is that your final answer?
It's your word against mine, Ushinari, and they need me.
Do
Besides, there have
Or
been
they have a new
cases.
smith right here.
I thought you said you weren't interested in work. Besides, you look like you're
I'm
dressed
not
up as
interested in an apprenticeship.
Whoa!
She
So,
examines
copper
you and
dagger?
she says, you know, I can see why they don't let most of you into Tamaka. Fine. And she throws it at you. Take it for the dagger.
I'll nicely hand her I'll hand her the dagger nicely. Pleasure doing business with you.
And she narrows her eyes and watches you go.
Well, that was a delight to watch.
You note that one of the men at like the hunting lodge watches you leave intently.
Okay. I'm going to mention the guy at the hunting lodge is sure staring at us. I mean, you do have a man on a leash, so that could be part of it.
Probably most of it, but
Maybe they want to be on a leash too.
Maybe. Should we go ask him?
Do you
And
want to?
Nico says, "Come now, you can't afford to have that many pets. We eat, you know."
Oh, well, behave yourself, and maybe I won't need to upgrade.
He's stricken. So, alright, you've leaned on him. You have an appropriate tool. You also have the mechanic talent, don't you?
I do, yes.
Alright. So, you guys, do you want to like scout the house closer? What do you want to do?
I figured we would just go in through the bottom door.
Okay. Do you go in like at night or?
I mean, that's the
I
plan. I
figured
don't.
night, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else you'd like to do in town first?
Yeah. Playing the day anyways, right?
I would like to go talk to the guy at the fucking hunting lodge.
Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, 2 dudes and a woman live in the hunting lodge, or at least are here now. The guy watches you with suspicion as you approach.
Hello.
Hi.
Did you want? It looked like you were really interested in us. Did you want? Did you want to ask anything? Or?
The smith didn't seem too happy after you left.
No, we didn't have the best of exchange. Are you not friends with her?
I am.
Oh.
Oh. Well, she's fine. I just am a good negotiator, that's all. Didn't get as good of a deal as she wanted.
He says, I'd hope.
I honestly have no idea what he means by that.
When you
Does this
say
seem-
when you say she's fine, he just says, I'd hope.
Oh.
Oh.
And then after you finish saying the rest of it, for your sake.
Oh, well, I don't plan on harming her at all. She does lovely work. I'm happy with my purchase.
Give me an aura society.
That's gonna go poorly. I'm not lying. I guess I will take a heat for this one because I have no idea why I'm rolling it.
Mhm.
And I need to get a 1. Fucking almost the
Oh my
opposite.
God.
Almost the
Oh
exact
God.
opposite.
The
across
other 2
board.
hunters are now looking and saying, we have, like, hide to tan. If you could, move along.
Sure.
With that, they awkwardly close the door behind you.
Okay.
How did your conversation with the huntsman go?
Poorly. I had an inkling that maybe it would go better, but I misjudged why they were mean mugging us.
Um, well, can't win them all.
No, I was hoping that they were on the other guy's side because it would be nice to have. But we'll go in quietly tonight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, what is you just like hang around this town until
Well,
night?
we got. Oh wait, we don't have a place to stay here. Secure lodgings for the night, I guess.
There is a large house at the southern tip. They do have beer, and they will let you sleep on their floor. It's not yet an inn or a tavern, but it might be one day.
Okay.
It might be one day.
Having them bring you a pot of beer is value 1.
Well, that's all of our money. So, do we want the beer?
Hell yeah.
All right.
And bring you a pot of beer and several long reed straws with which to drink it.
This is so cursed. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all 6 of you sit around, like, on the floor drinking beer out of a pot. And,
I mean, we're not gonna get sloshed, right?
no.
We still got a job.
And with it,
I mean, not with one beer. Does it taste like piss water, or does
But
it
imagine
taste...
it's like a pitcher.
yeah,
Well-
it's like a big pot. It's
Yeah.
like a plant should be
pot.
in this pot, but
Yeah.
like closed at the tip, and you're
It's a
drinking
fish
it.
bowl.
And when it's done, they pull it away, and you kind of chill. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good beer. It's not been like handled well or anything.
Sure.
It's pretty rough. It is rough rye beer.
Well, they should
That's
be lucky Yelp doesn't
fine.
exist.
And when all that is done, yeah. So basically, you guys just sort of lightly drink and then sleep on the floor. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go do the job.
Yeah, but I mean,
But for the most.
Oh, yeah.
you make it seem as if though.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, as people go away for the night, you then sneak out. So, I presume you have Iboji, like, lead you, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone's noticed you, you haven't noticed them. Aboji leads you silently through the night, tight against the hillside, creeping through the unblooming olive orchard, and up to the entrance. Most of the party. I mean, I presume the whole party comes up with you. An
I'm
important
sure.
note: have you
I
brought
assume-
Nikos with you, and are you still devoting a hand to holding his leash?
I mean, I don't devote my hands to hold his leash. I let it drag in front of me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm tired and it's late. But every once in a while, I'll step on the rope if he gets too far.
Amazing. All right, so um, give me Dark Aardvark. You have a
Yes.
tool. Um,
Yes.
I'm going to say this tool. So sense at or under. I'm going to say that this tool grants you a +2 to what the at is. What does that put your number at?
So it's sense plus the tool.
Yeah.
That's a 5.
All right. Roll me a d6. Hit anything but a 6. With a
Oh,
click
thank you, baby
of the
Jesus.
inner workings of the machine, the party has gained ingress. Nighttime ingress achieved. And I think as you slide in, that's probably the ideal moment to call it because we're almost half an hour over.
Yeah.
So, with all that said and done, I think it's time for a quick feedback phase, and then we call it. So, we are going to hit right to left as I see it. Bull Trip, hit me with it. Favorite, least favorite, you want to see more of.
Favorite.
That I control.
Huh?
Thing that I control for.
Oh, things that you control. Yeah.
Yeah.
It.
About the system or the session.
I'll go with least favorite as far as the system goes. I guess I'm probably a lot more used to I've been playing a lot of like Warhammer and stuff, so I'm used to like rerolls and stuff like that. I think the heat system is pretty good though, so it's kind of like a mixed feedback because heat is in a weird way kind of like the fate points that they have
Yeah, but
for
you
like
just have to commit ahead
adding
of
stuff.
time.
Yeah. So that's like a mixed thing. So it's a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but also I feel that well, obviously this is a very difficult setting where you can get hit and just plats really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So um for I haven't done yet, but for like defenses and stuff, is there any kind of additional uh like defense that you can do besides just seeing 1d4?
Armors, shields, and certain vitae.
Okay. Yeah.
There's one that basically lets
Um
you pratfall and negate a wound level.
yeah, okay. Then yeah, that kind of basically covers it. As far
It's
as
the
like we say, it's just it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, in a good way or a
Um,
bad way.
both. Like it makes combat pretty quick, but that means you might be rerolling a character pretty quick, which I know is something that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I would say that that's like my combined favorite and least favorite. 'Cause I do enjoy the heat system.
Yeah.
What was the third item that I had to do again?
What do you want to see more of?
What do I want to see more of?
In terms of the system or the campaign?
In the system, I know that it's like there's a question mark for the mages and stuff. Is that something that you're still thinking
There's
about?
a third unlockable.
Okay, it's unlockable. All right, yeah.
You want to see
Seeing
see the
seeing what
unlockable.
that could be, it sounds pretty fun. Um, and just kind of honestly how far we're actually gonna make it. I want to see if we could actually make it to one of these places, or if we're just gonna all fucking die.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. With that, Dark Aardvark.
Yes.
Your turn.
I really like how flexible the system is. I really, I didn't have to. I think sometimes with systems like D&D that are also great.
Mhm.
I'm not saying anything's bad. They're just different kinds of good. You can feel a little like, in some ways, hemmed in by the rules sometimes. And I think systems like this are really nice to like. I never felt like, can my character do this? It was like, how easy or difficult will the task be for my character? I like that balance. I also really like the tension of how dangerous the setting is and the timetable where it gets worse. Uh, I think is a fun mechanism. I think it's a fun. It's like an open world.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of table, but I think the system really lends itself to being
Yeah.
like an open worldy tabletopy kind of thing, and that's fun because I like playing those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe because I'm tired and haven't reviewed the materials recently, but I thought it was for the downside.
Mhm.
I really had no idea how to judge easily if like what tactic was the most likely to succeed or what might be best.
Mm.
That might a lot of that might be it's just a new system to me too.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, I think
Wonderful.
that's all I got.
Saito.
Hello. I very much enjoyed. I enjoyed the system. I think it's very, like Natalie was saying, I think it's very flexible, which is very interesting. I like how it is more based a little bit more on almost the meat and bones rather than so much the kind of your backstory and things like that.
Yeah.
Uh, I, if I would like to say
Mhm.
there's something I'd like to see more of,
Mhm.
is it would be interesting to have preset mixtures that I could see, but I could have maybe missed them.
Oh,
And
so I'm intending to get them in there, yeah, because there are some, but there's very few. I'm gonna put more in.
because I am excited to see what your chemistry and your
Hell
alchemy.
yeah, we're gonna have all sorts of shit going on.
Mm-hmm. To
We
where it
can,
goes, where the rabbit hole goes. And I would be interested to see, do you ever, and this is more of a question, do you ever plan on mixing anything that is, because obviously, Bola is like a blood mage, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Would there be an Alchema blood mage type?
So you can't, yeah. So that's actually one of the mixes that's in the game right now. I'm trying to remember the spiced liver. Do I only have that in V1.1? There's like a liver you can make as a ritual. Actually, you don't even need a heavy soul for it, but you like do a weird ritual, and then you make a spiced liver that you can eat, and it gives you blood regen, like in combat scale blood regen. You know what I
Ooh.
mean? Like you get
So,
+1 blood around for 10 rounds.
so Bola, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, I don't know, it's a really good system. I very much enjoyed it. I like the story. That's the only thing I would say is I would like to be able to flourish my alchemy a little bit more. But I would also, I'm one of those type of people that I like recipe books. So,
No, yeah, we're gonna have that shit in there because we have. It's just that there's only like 3 recipes right now, but I'm gonna make way more. Yeah,
mhm.
I'm gonna make it happen. All right. So, with all that, I did mention in chat. I don't know who's watching, but Malay Saito has her own channel. You find her and Dark Aardvark, Dear Natalie there. And yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of all she wrote. All he scrote, all we goat, as it were. All so. Who is live?
I don't really see much people live right now.
Everyone is eepy.
I don't know. I had that same issue on
Let's
Monday. There wasn't very many people live on Monday.
There's something called Roll With It. I will go read them. Well, I'll say hello. Thank you all for joining us. We're gonna go say hi to them. Fairly well, dreamers. May the light of the sun shine on you, or whatever the fuck. Ironically, I'm in a circular sun, but like symbologically, it would be triangular. Right now. Ironically.